Today's guest makes $1 million a month at 22 years old.
You want to say you're working harder to make 50K a year? Yeah, you are. I'm working hard to make $1 million, and you got what you wanted, and I got what I wanted. It's that simple.
Originally a video editor for small YouTubers, he realized the way he told stories was blowing creators up.
During the peak of my agency, we did 18.5 billion views plus.
Oh, that's from the agency? That's not even from Crayo.
And that's in 1 year.
But after generating 20 billion views and making influencers viral overnight, he eventually started Crayo, the AI tool behind millions of clips dominating your algorithm.
The structure I always go for is you're looking for a hook. Now, if you're not good at identifying what hook is because you don't have enough time in the field, I would say go for a...
In this episode, we'll dive into the unorthodox methods he uses to capture attention, the mindset that keeps him focused while everyone else is distracted, and the step-by-step playbook that's made Crayo one of the fastest growing AI companies in the world.
At what point did you realize clipping was going to be bigger than Facebook ads?
When I made a fucking $1 million from my bedroom, and I'm like, damn, this shit real.
Musa.
Welcome to the Jack Neel Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, brother. Musa and I have had a lot of mutual friends, known each other vaguely for a while. Last time I saw you was in Dubai at, what was it, Luke Belmar's mastermind.
I mean, everyone was mainly there for the token event, the crypto one, in May or whenever it was. But yeah, that was the first time we met in person.
I think it's a good thing to think about before you decide to watch this full podcast that I think Musa is one of the smartest people I've ever met. His verbal IQ and the way he looks at the world is extremely unique. And of course, he's made a lot of money at a young age, which is what people really care about.
That means a lot coming from you, bro, because you interview some serious people.
And his partner is probably one of the other smartest people I've ever met, Daniel. I've known Daniel since he was a 15-year-old kid making money on Snapchat. But yeah, they have teamed up and created a pretty cool company. So, Musa, you're 22 years old. How much money did you make last month?
Yeah, it's in the seven-figure range, but it fluctuates based on how things are going. But it's pretty consistently 7 figures every month.
If you had to be a little bit more specific, like over, under 2 mil.
It's close to 2 mil.
Wow. Okay. So you're making about $2 million a month. And what are your sources of revenue look like?
I mean, we have info, undoubtedly, obviously, sell a course, also Crayo, also investments, and they tend to be the big three.
Got it. So what's the big one for you right now? Or is it pretty?
Oh, Crayo's a ripper.
Crayo's
a ripper.
Yeah. How do you make $1 million a month clipping content?
I mean, yeah, we made Crayo, my business partners and I, and with the intention of making it easier for people who don't know how to video edit to make videos, You use AI prompts and then we put the other pieces of the puzzle together and then you have your videos. Now, one of my favorite parts about it is that it beats majority of grifter allegations, let's say, right? Because a company like Crayo, if it's not pulling results, people just cancel subscription. But we have a low churn rate,
You have a low churn?
I like to think it's low. Obviously, when it comes to the builder space, there's a lot of ego involved. So that number's not low. But personally, I'm quite proud of a sub 15% churn rate,
Wow.
But I mean, bro, to be fair, there's a lot of SaaS, SaaS businesses that will hit sub 8 and shit like that,
Yeah, but yours is very unique in that people actually have to work. They actually have to do the prompt, make the clip, edit the video from there and post it. So I would assume the churn would be higher,
Well, here's the thing, right? If you're paying $20 a month, right? Make your videos with the product, with the software, and you're not making that $20 back every single month, then yeah, go ahead and cancel. But people aren't doing that, And the reason they're not is because they're making their money back, so they keep using it, It's that simple. Or if they're not making cash back, they're clearly getting results that they're happy with enough to continue paying. Some people, their intention is to just grow a social media account and then maybe make money in other ways or drive traffic to something else. But whatever it is, they're happy with the results because people aren't leaving.
And how did Crayo kind of come to be? What was the story there? I actually don't know this.
So the actual reason I started selling my course in the first place was because I needed more editors for my agency. So at the time, my agency, I had clients like Sneako, Gideon, the Sidemen, the Beta Squad as well. I don't know if you know those guys. Adrian Harding. I don't know if you know some of those.
I know him personally, yeah.
He's been a client of the agency for 2 years, 3 years now, maybe. Even now, we still use some good work from him. But with these guys, I needed more editors to expand my team. And I thought, damn, if I can sell a course, I can teach people how to make clips and then hire the best guys, So I we came up with like a guarantee. Like if you are able to get 50 million views in 30 days, I'll give you a job. And I hired a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of kids that got jobs off the back of that because they joined, they followed the videos, they learned how to clip, they started their own pages, and they got a job with me, you know? And the jobs were like $2,000 a month, go and hire if you're really, really good at what you do, you know? So that's the reason I started selling a course in the first place. It's just so I can actually train people. In my head, I was like, right, people pay me to learn how to work for me. So yeah, I mean, that's the...
Where did you go from? So we'll go like deeper into the story, but I guess what was the idea with Crayo? Like you had all these editors, you wanted to make a software to make it easier. How did you get connected with Daniel?
Yeah, so I was aware of Daniel and he was aware of me, but we were connected through like a friend of a friend. We came up with the idea through Crayo because I started to realize when I was selling this course that like a lot of people didn't know about Premiere Pro. They didn't know about like even Sony Vegas or DaVinci Resolve or Capcut. Like they didn't really know how to edit properly. You know, even on Capcut, you still have to like download everything and like write your own subtitles and all this other stuff. Like there's still a lot of work. So I was like, well, if we develop a software that solves that issue for people, bridging the gap between like video editing and people who don't know how to video edit but want to make videos, then there's a market there. And that's what Crayo aimed to do, you know? Our headline on our landing page is like, make viral videos in seconds, you know? Because that's the objective, to remove the friction between someone who wants to make a viral video but doesn't have a video editing program or doesn't know where to start and stuff like that, you know?
Do you guys have a mobile app?
No, but the website is compatible with your phone.
Yeah. Why haven't you done mobile app? Just the Apple iOS piece?
No, so one of my most successful funnels that I was ever able to run was like a low ticket ascension funnel for my info product, right? Where essentially we are like cracking daily ROAS. So let's say, for example, we want to spend $10,000 on ads in one day. We will make back $10,000 in low ticket subscriptions and then ascend the rest into high ticket, right? So what I was able to do was take all the elements I used on making a profitable on the day funnel and switch that into Crayo. Like if we can build a front end low ticket subscription funnel for Crayo that breaks even on the day, then the monthly subscriptions, because of how good the product was, will turn it profitable. So I just thought like, okay, yeah, we can launch an app and we can, like we'll get there. But ultimately it doesn't matter because the only thing that anyone cares about is revenue and growth, especially when you're trying to exit and stuff like that, you know? So it's the only thing that people, I mean, there's a lot of other things, but that's the main thing people really look for when they're buying, you know, software. So we thought like, yeah, we can launch an app, but ultimately it doesn't matter. As long as revenue is growing, customer base is growing, the user base is growing, as long as that's the case, whether there's an app involved or not, doesn't really matter, you know? So we just thought like one of the things that none of these other software tools are really able to do is crack cold paid traffic. I'm pretty sure there's a statistic like 90-something% of people that run ads don't make a profit, you know? So I'm one of few that's been able to do it. So if I can do it again for a software tool I have, then whether we have an app or not doesn't even matter, you know? It's like, I mean, it is low hanging fruit, but it's not going to solve like the wider issue at hand, which is scale, you know?
To learn a little bit more about you, what's your daily routine look like as a 22-year-old millionaire?
I mean, it's pretty mix and mash because I travel a lot. Past 2.5 years, I've been like everywhere, just in and out of every country, every city and stuff like that. But when I'm at home and I'm with my family, because that's where I live, I wake up, hit the gym, have breakfast with my dad and my brothers, and then go to my office and I just work for like 10 hours and then come home and sleep, and that's it. And then I just do it all again. For me, that's like fulfilling life. That's how I want to live it, you know? Then when I get bored of my environment, I do that again, but I just do it somewhere else, you know? So I'll go to a hotel and it's nice, you know, like a nice gym, you get a nice bed, you get room service, you know, like they clean your room and shit, like that type of stuff. Like, so it's nice, but really I'm doing the same thing everywhere I go.
I guess for someone who's broke and watches social media, like they're constantly scrolling and wants to make money online, how can you make 10K a month clipping content?
You want to make money with content. It really is coming down to just, I guess, selecting your niche and then hammering it home, you know? There are a bunch of other things, like, for example, like WAP's content rewards that I've taken over. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna revamp the whole thing. And that's gonna be really, really good for clipping influencers again. Something that's you're not able to do it on TikTok right now, but going to be able to do that very, very soon once we revamp the whole thing. Yeah, so that will be done and you can use that. But for now, the time being right now is definitely the thing is tech stories. Like the tech stories niche, like, yo, I've been going crazy on that. Like
tech stories. Okay.
You know, like the Reddit stories, for example. A Reddit story, it's basically that, but it's texts instead. So it's like iMessage, a fake iMessage conversation. Because everyone knows, and if you talk to any YouTuber ever, Mr. Beast, or like you watch any podcast from any big influence, they always tell you storytelling is number one. You want retention, you tell a good story. And what I like about the tech stories niche is that you can manufacture your own text. You can manufacture your own story, you know? So the virality of the video is directly dependent on your ability to create a good story, you know? And what I like about using Crayo to make those videos is that Crayo is it's AI. So it's like continuously learning about what the best stories look like. So when you feed it, like, I want a story about this, I want a story about that, it will come up with some of the best stories, you know?
So you're talking about the text to speech, like subtitles, and it's just like telling a story, or like?
No, so it's like an iMessage screenshot. And then as the message is being read out by AI, the conversation gets revealed more and more and more. And then, yeah.
And those are like, how do you monetize that exactly?
TikTok payout, like just like everything else, they give you an RPM and they pay you based on that, and you get paid per 1,000 views and all this other stuff. A lot of people, they tend to think that like building like a shock factor hook is what will get you the views, and sometimes it does, but one of the biggest problems I see is people doing like the wrong shock factors, and they're like talking about drugs. And like if you're talking about drugs or you're making like inappropriate references, advertisers aren't going to put their ads in front of your videos, and your RPM is going to be super low and you're not going to get paid. So people love to complain about like, my RPM's low and like TikTok doesn't pay like it used to. I mean, it does. You're just talking about the wrong things, you know? And then that's the skill gap. Like that's why people should pay for information online, because you're going to sit and complain and quit when really there's just an information gap. You just didn't know that that's how it worked, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like I didn't even know that text story automation was like the meta right now in terms of clipping. That's really interesting. But
it's one of those timeless niches. It's like prank videos on YouTube. They just never died. You know, vlogs never died. Like there's just like certain niches that just never die because it's directly dependent on your ability to formulate a story. You know, that's why vlogs never died. That's why pranks never died. It's because as long as you can continuously innovate and continuously make like your own stories, those things are just never going to go away. And tech stories is just like one of those niches. It's not like the meta per se right now. It's definitely a lot hotter like a few months ago and stuff like that. But ultimately it doesn't matter because you know how to create a good story. You can have it pop whenever you want.
How much money have you seen someone made from an AI video?
What, like one AI video individually? It must have been like 80K.
$80,000.
Yeah. And you know what it was? So you know like the videos where people would roll bottles down the stairs and they would like smash. And they were like going really viral for a period of time. Someone used VO3 to recreate that. Same thing. No bottle smash, no anything. They used the old videos as a reference. Did the same thing. Videos got hundreds of millions of views and generated like.
Does it have to be like over a certain amount of time?
On YouTube, on TikTok, sorry, yeah, it has to be over a minute. But that's even better. Like people don't even know that videos over a minute get pushed more. So if you have a really good video that's over a minute long, it's like extra push, you know? TikTok, they want to pay you, really, you know? Because if they're not paying you out, then that means they're not getting money from advertisers.
And that rolling bottle video, was that like no words?
It was VO3 generated.
But like no one was speaking in it?
No. It's just the sounds, just the sound effects of the bottle smashing. That's why people love to watch it, you know?
Like the best, what's the word? Practice here is make a video that like is understandable in other languages theoretically.
Yeah, they
make it
call
over a minute, make it with AI, and make it brand friendly to make the most amount of money.
That's
and then
it.
would it be like a minute and 1 second is ideal, or like does 5 minutes make more than?
I mean, I personally go with just making the best video, right? Like if that means that the video is better with it being 1 minute 20 seconds than it is being 1 minute 5, then I'm going to make it 1 minute 20. I don't care about the extra 15 seconds, you know?
But is the monetization higher? Like if both of them had...
If you upload a 5-minute video, you're going to have a higher RPM. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Because if they spend more time on the platform, they end up seeing more ads as a result. They pay you for the time that you can keep people on the platform. That's how that works, you know?
My accounts are all based in like Canada and Russia because I bought usernames. So they're not monetized, but I'm probably missing out on a lot of money. So if you wanted to make $10,000 a month, like how many views would you have to get roughly on TikTok, like on over a minute videos?
I would literally just say 10 million views if you are making the right type of content.
That's it?
If you're making the right type of content, you are getting paid $1,000 for 1 million views, you know? The problem is that majority of people, they watch my videos, just write it off as like, scammer, because I'm selling a course. And then as a result, they make all the wrong moves. And then they're like, I'm going to quit. But like, it really is that simple. And then not only that, bro, like when stuff like content rewards is like fully out and fledged, you're getting paid a lot more. Like there are campaigns on there where people are paying $5 for 1,000 views. That's $5,000 for 1 million views. You get 10 million views now, that's 50 grand, you know? Even now, I have some other companies that have small amounts of equity on, but I'm working as part of the team. I'm talking with them. We're talking about throwing like $200,000, $300,000 deposits with $5 CPMs. And it's not even a joke, you know? So like, there's tons of opportunity on there. There's way bigger organizations that will be coming to content rewards as well. Like if you think this TikTok opportunity is going to be crazy, which it is, but like learning how to clip in general is a crazy skill because there's so much like opportunity to not just make your first 10, but actually make your first 50, you know?
Yeah, guys, I personally am not an investor in WAP or content rewards or anything to do with Musa's portfolio of companies. But I will say that like if I was a teenager, I would say that TikTok shop or clipping on content rewards would probably be what I would go with in terms of monetization.
I think if you're willing to throw your face in front of the camera, go ahead, do TikTok shop, like do that. But like if you don't want to and you want to like side hustle your way through it and you don't want it to be a main thing, or even if you want to like, you just want something where you don't have to show your face and it's not like dependent on you, go ahead and go with clipping, you know?
You got to think about too, like what is your competitive advantage? Like am I someone that, a competitive advantage can be something as simple as I watch Andrew Tate's content, I watch Grant Cardone's content, and let's say that they made a WAP campaign rewards offer. A competitive advantage could be I buy lots of hair products, I buy lots of t-shirts, and in that case, you should probably make TikTok shop content around those things. But how are people using TikTok shop like in any of your programs?
I mean, I don't teach it because I don't have the experience with it. Like I haven't personally made loads of money with TikTok shop. I made some, but like not a lot. In my opinion, not enough to teach it. That's why I just stay away from it, you know, because to me, I'm underqualified.
But theoretically, could you use?
Yeah, like there are loads of people that do make money clipping facelessly with TikTok shop. And the way that they do that is by like, they use like VO3 to have like examples of a product or like what it can do as opposed to like actually showing the product itself, but showing the results it can provide, you know? And bro, they do that shit. There was even a video of, you know, like Bress and Orangey. There's a video of those two guys like in a like a Mercedes van, and they were eating like these TikTok shop like little cookies that are like super low calories, and they're like snacking on these things, and people had clipped it, subtitled it, and then sold TikTok shop products alongside it. And some of these videos were sitting on like millions of views. Like I was even with Pierre yesterday, and he was like, "Yo, like these guys definitely made like 4 or 5 grand off this fucking video easily," because you can see how many items have been sold through the commission. He's like, "Yo, this guy made like 4K off this video, bro." I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, like you can clip streamers and sell on TikTok shop. You can use VO3, clip on TikTok shop. Even Crayo right now has a VO3 feature.
I was going to ask about that. Did you guys, how do you get access to like the API?
We have
there?
It's on that we have, I don't know, the dev handled everything.
Yeah.
He has a fucking deal with whatever, like, but he figured some shit out. Crayo has VO3. You don't even have to like, because I know with Google's VO3, it's only available to people in the States. But with Crayo's one, you can do it from anywhere.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you can
do you guys have unlimited, what are the words?
Credits.
Yeah, credits.
No, it still costs, obviously.
On Crayo, do you have to like pay for credits for more videos and stuff?
Yeah. But like,
it's kind of one of those things that the video is going to make you more anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Like there's it's kind of the whole premise of Crayo. You know, you pay to use the tools make you more money, and that's that, you know.
So Musa, I'd say you're probably one of the best clippers of all time. How many views have you done? Because it says 20 billion on Instagram, but you seem like the type of guy to not update that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't updated in a while. That is a tough question though, because the reason I say 20 billion is because during the peak of my agency, we did 18.5 billion views plus.
That's from the agency? That's not even from Crayo?
No, and that's in 1 year. That was 1 year. So that was the Sneako year. That Sneako year, we did 6 billion just with Sneako. And during his prime, we did like 2 billion views in a month. Like just Sneako. It's crazy. But that was just that. And then I thought, yeah, 20 billion is like a safe number. I was like, no one else is touching it. Like I'm the biggest in the clipping space by a country mile. Like even the other guys that sell custom clipping, they're like so much lower than me, like in like follower count and size and all this other stuff, because they're just not as good at clipping as I am. You know, that's it. So,
and guys, for reference, I probably have like 13 to 15 million followers across my platforms, and I've done about 15 billion, maybe 20 billion views total. And I'm guessing he's done a lot more than me for other creators, which is really interesting. And then if you count Crayo, like what would you guess that is?
What, counting Crayo in terms of like
the views you've generated?
What for like customers have been able to generate?
Yeah.
That's
trillion.
Yeah. It's like this, bro, we have 3.5 million users. You know, more now. That I checked that 3.5 million was like Q1 this year. So probably close to 4 million users, bro. And do you know what I'm trying to say? Like that's a crazy amount, especially since like they've all paid and like retention is quite high. Like, yeah, bro, it's a crazy number. I don't know. If I had to guess, like 100 billion is a pretty safe number to guess, you know?
What do you do differently when editing clips to make sure they go viral every time?
There's actually an example of this that I use really well. So there's a TikTok page that's still alive. It's like 5N34K0. And obviously it spells Sneako, right? There's only 5 videos on there, and there's 15 million views in just those 5 videos, right? Plus maybe 20 million or something like that. And I always use it as an example because I was showing people at the time, like, look, this is exactly how you structure a video. And if you go into my course and in my videos, I actually have videos showing like, look, this video is going to go viral. Then I post it and it gets like 5 million views, you know? And like, I showed me like editing it. I showed the timeline. I showed me like saying like, yo, this is going to happen. And then I post it and it goes live. So, and then it got the views, and the views are live on that page right now, still on TikTok, right? And the point of it was to show people what the structure looks like. So the structure I always go for is you're looking for a hook. Now, if you're not good at identifying what hook is because you don't have enough time in the field, I would say go for a question. Question's such an easy way to do it, you know? So you start off with a question. If very, very basic, don't know what you're doing, start off with a question, right? Then have like people give their guesses to the question or their answers to the question, then have your reaction to the answers based on that question. Like, for example, in this hypothetical video where there's a question involved, you know? Like, so you have your beginning, your middle, and your end. It's a story, you know? Like, people don't realize the story, there should be a story backbone to almost every clip, you know? And that's what you go off of. Like, even right now.
Quick question. Are you still watching this podcast because there was a part in the intro, the first minute, that hasn't been talked about yet? See, my team puts a lot of work into the beginning of our videos to make sure you're hooked right away and get you invested into watching the full episode. But here's the problem. Making those intros used to take days. We'd have to research the full podcast, watch it back, pick the best parts to include, and write it in such a way that it was intriguing off the bat, but tease the best parts of the episode. But now, since we use Poppy AI, we're able to combine podcast, articles, and TikToks together to create the questions for the episode. And after the podcast is ready, we can plug it into Poppy, connect our past scripts, and write a perfect intro in my voice. Plus, it's able to look at past episodes and know exactly what parts to include for a new podcast. But if you guys want to use it for your scripts, video clips, or research, just go to getpoppy.ai/Jack Neel. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if it doesn't give you value, it's completely free. But anyway, guys, back to the podcast.
One of the most profitable clipping strategies we're running for my personal brand and also for Crayo is, you might have seen it, it's where those people ask me like, how old do you think my friend is? And they're like, he's 27, he's 24, 20. I say, I'm 22. Okay, how much do you think he made last year? You have 2 questions to ask him to get closer to your answer. I think he does this, I think he does that, I think he made 100K last year, 200K. Then my answer, I say 14 million, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, no way, And And then I show them like, look, this is the dashboard. This is how I did it and all this other stuff. And that was me carefully constructing exactly how to make viral videos. So now what I've done is I've taken me out of those videos and put other people in those videos, you know, to replace me in that role. And it's going viral again. Like, we've been running this system for just 2 weeks now, right? Our new customer acquisition is up 35%.
This is an ad?
They're not ads, they're organic videos that we're distributing.
And it like pushes what?
Crayo.
I had no idea that was an ad. I mean, I hate to use the word ad. I had no idea that was promoting something. I thought that was just a viral clip of you that I saw.
I mean, it is, but like we have like strangers doing it now where like I've been replaced. I went to go.
That converts well?
We're up 35% new customers.
Why do you think that converts well? If it's just...
Because at the end of the video, it's telling people like, oh, I made my money like this. I went to Crayo, I did this and did that, and I made my money back. And you know what I'm trying to say? So there's a lot of that type of stuff.
Content really is just question and answer, like you're kind of saying, and then reaction.
I mean, it's not always that simple, because like my main videos on my Instagram, there's no questions, no answer. I'm the only person talking.
Or I guess
and
not,
those videos
not
like
directly
countless.
a question, but like something that makes the viewer question, and then they get the answer, and then there's another question, you know?
Of course, yeah. That's like, have you seen Nico Malana? His YouTube channel, you haven't seen it? He's like one of the biggest YouTubers in the UK. So in his latest video, he does this really well where he puts a big twist on it in the middle of his video, right? So he takes like this random like foreign guy, right? Who doesn't have like any clue about anything. And his son's like ill and he wanted like 100K YouTube plaque. So his dad started a YouTube channel for him to try and get some subscribers so that he can get a plaque, right? Anyway, this guy Nico, he's got millions of subscribers, right? Takes this guy, does like a prank video with him to show people like, oh, he's cool, go and sub to his channel, right? It turns out halfway through the video that like every single person in the pranks, they did like a sneaking into this event prank, right? Every person, every camera, every red carpet, every interviewer, every staff member was all paid by him to prank the dad, you know, to like show. And anyway, the end was like super wholesome, but to circle back to the original point, the point was that was how he was able to give the viewers a bunch of questions, then give an answer that ignites a new question, and then give an answer that ignites a new question, and then gives you know what I'm trying to say?
Like he scripted the whole thing in this tension and release is one that people use for storytelling. But yeah, you can really structure every little thing.
Once you know what you're doing, it's really easy to spot, and it's really impressive when you do it, when you do recognize it. Like Mr. Beast really is the GOAT at give a little, take a little, you know? Where it's like you give the answer, but it initiates a new one that keeps you going. And then once you start to realize it happening, it's actually super impressive, you know?
Interesting, man. Yeah, I wanted to ask, to touch back earlier, what are like the best niches to go viral in clipping? What are the highest paying niches to go viral in for short form clips?
Oh, the highest paying ones is as family friendly as you get, because going finance is not really super possible. The most profitable ones that will always give you the highest RPMs is always going to be anything finance related, because people want to put ads in front of people with lots of money so they can sell high ticket products.
And that's the case for clips too.
That's the case for any video that's ever going to be made ever. Like everyone that sells a high ticket product wants an ad in front of someone that has liquid cash ready to spend, has disposable income for a high ticket product. So any ad in front of anything finance related where people are ready to give cash, yeah, they're always going to have the highest RPMs, because the ad space is always going to be the most expensive, you know? But clipping to make videos like that, again, like that's pretty difficult. So I tend to just stick with like relationship content is how I tend to do it. There was like a method that I ran for a while where I was like catfishing as a girl, right? So I would pretend to be a girl. I would make the account like just a picture of a girl from like Pinterest or some shit like that. Then I would make my first post. It was bait, like simp bait. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Where you're posting just to like get simps to be like, no, like you're really pretty, da 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 da. Then my first like slideshow videos would be like talking about how like my imaginary like boyfriend in this situation, as I'm like posing as this woman, was like mistreating me. And I don't mean like domestic abuse. I'm talking about like, oh, why doesn't he call me? And I'm making the text, like I'm faking everything, right? But like, yo, the guys would really comment on that shit and boost those videos like heavy in the algorithm. And then eventually like you'd get to 10K followers really quickly because all the guys think like, I can get her, like I can bag her, I can save her, da da da. You grow your followers mad quick when you do that shit because the guys really want to follow you in hopes you follow back and you start talking and all this other stuff. Because like,
and you can buy an account too, theoretically, right?
Yeah, so you can buy accounts.
And we're talking about, I don't know if you gave the context, but you have to have 10,000 followers on TikTok to be monetized.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain number of views, something like that. Yeah.
But like the girls that I was talking about, that's the quickest way I've ever ran up like an account to 10K followers. Like I had an account run to 10K followers in like 2 days, like doing something like that. Usually, maybe we're talking about like, I could do it in like a week if we're running like regular tech story page. Then after a week, I can get paid probably by like the 20th day. I'm really speed running that shit. But with that like posing as a girl method, yo, that shit was cracked, bro. I was ripping on that for a while, you know?
That's pretty interesting, man. Is there anything else that you like see people in Crayo or people in your community doing to like build an account up really fast?
There is honestly like...
But you just do that because you're already good at clipping and you just need to grow an account. Like someone ideally should just be making clips.
Yeah, I mean, there are simple CTAs, right? Like people will be surprised how far like a follow for more content goes. Because like even if you have a look, like a lot of banners, it's just like subscribe for a cookie. Like you're not getting a cookie. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just simply just to remind you, hey, subscribe. And people will be surprised how far that stuff goes. I even think Mr. Beast's banner is something like that, you know?
Yeah. If we ask the viewers to subscribe right now, we'll see a spike in my chart of people wanting to subscribe. How do you find clients to clip their content? Because I get DM'd by probably 1,000 people a week, and it is the most annoying thing ever. And I don't, it's at a point where I don't even know how to like cipher out who's good anymore. And I just only hire people I reach out to.
I actually don't even think it's beneficial. I think clipping for clients is only beneficial now if you're going for a networking play. Like you want to meet someone, so you do a good job for them, and then they connect you with other people. But like really, like taking on clients for short form content is like, I just don't recommend it at all. Platforms pay you way more. And not only that, like clients are inconsistent. Like,
okay, so you say that, but let me give you a counter to it. So my main guy, he used to be like one of Tate's top affiliates, and I pay him like $60 every edit, and he does like 3-4 a day pretty consistently. But if he says like, Jack, like I want to keep doing my YouTube Shorts channel because I know I'm going to make like 10K a month with it. But I'm like, would you rather have working with me consistently for like the next few years and it grows steadily, or like have that YouTube Shorts channel? And like he hasn't been able to grow a YouTube Shorts channel himself. So like, what do you think about that?
I think that if he puts enough reps in the field, he's going to make more money on a Shorts channel than he would clipping for you.
Really? Because what I see it as is like he gets first dibs on my content, you know, before other people. But maybe he would still make more money.
There's a lot of inconsistent. I mean, basically what we're saying is like, if he went on to pursue becoming an expert at this particular skill, would he make more money? And then you're making the claim like, okay, but right now he's not an expert. So right now he'd make more money with me. Like, yeah, like so long as he doesn't explore that, like learning that skill, then yeah, like he will make more money. Maybe right now, yeah, he'd make more money with you. But if he went on to pursue it, consistently pursued it, like made the commitment to himself, disciplined commitment of, I'm not stopping till this is making me 20,000, 30,000 a month, right? If he made that commitment to himself and he stuck to it, yeah, long term he'd make more money there than he would working for you, inevitably, you know? As with all things almost, you know, you become an expert at a skill, of course, you're going to make more money as an expert. But taking on clients, I think it might be a good way to start. But ultimately, if you want to sign clients for clipping, you just have to have a no-brainer offer. So if you are not, first of all, you shouldn't be selling anything to anyone if you couldn't pull results. So don't go around saying like, I'll get X amount of results for you. This is my thing, pay me up front. No, you ain't getting paid. You know, like if you can actually do it, say pay me after the job's done. Say, can we define success? Yes. Okay. What does success look like for you? Let's say you said, oh, success is 10 million views in a month. Okay. So if I get 10 million views in a month, will you pay me $2,000? If you say yes, then that's that. I'll get the views for you first and then you pay me the money, you know? Why would you say no to that?
I would say no, because everyone tells me I'll get you 80 million views guaranteed. If I were a clipper, I would probably make a page like a Jack Neel page. And I've hired someone like this. They made a Jack Neel page and got some views, you know?
But if they're saying, I'll get you 10 million views, then when I get you 10 million views, pay me. Why would you not take that?
Well, I just wouldn't respond because I wouldn't believe them.
Yeah,
you know?
I wouldn't respond as well because I got like so many people saying it. But like, why? It wouldn't hurt me to say, yeah, go on then. Come back with results. You know what I'm saying? And then when you come back, if I think that 10 million views is worth $2,000 for my brand, then yeah, I'll give you the money for it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go and get it first, yeah, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I say yes to that?
Interesting. I also think people are reaching out to too big of creators. You know, like I see these guys with like a couple hundred followers. Like,
I'd be surprised, man. I had like 3K followers on my personal IG like years ago, reaching out to people that had like 700,000, 800,000 followers. Yo, they were replying. These guys read their DMs, you know?
That's true.
Like,
that's true. I do read my DMs. I feel like you could write a DM that I would respond to. For sure.
Exactly. Like I was getting replies from like big creators. Like I had like creators with like millions of subscribers. The difference is I was putting up shots and I wasn't stopping until I got a response, you know? Like if one guy didn't respond, that's fine. Like I remember sitting there in my room when I was like making no bread. Like I know I can sell this service. I know the offer's good. I know I can get results. And then I was like, yeah, this is it. So I would have like a VA or even myself at the time, like just get a list of like 100 people that were like, yeah, they'd probably respond, you know? And just shot.
Would you ever write custom messages?
Every message was custom. Every message. The only thing that stayed the same was the offer. I can get X amount of views. This is what I'm looking for. Hit me back if you're interested, you know? But like the first part was all custom.
Yeah. But the way you got your biggest client was pretty scrappy, which I respect.
I mean, yeah, it was scrappy, but like I didn't have any professional way to do it, you know?
So how did you, like you're the guy responsible for making Sneako viral besides Sneako. Like how did you meet Sneako?
Omegle, man. The clip is live. Must have got like 150, 200 million views, that clip now.
How much do you think you made the last month? How much did you make last month? Don't count G's. Sounds corny. It sounds like we're just like old people yelling, but like if you float up on the internet, there's so much money to be made. I respect you, but
yeah, that clip of me meeting him on Omegle, like it's scrappy, but it's hustle. I wanted it more than everyone else. You know, everyone else that was on that Omegle call, they didn't do anything with that question. Wasting their motherfucking time, you know? But like I jumped on that shit. I told him like about me. I said my shit. I taught my shit. Said what I needed to say. And I bagged that same night.
How'd you know he was on Omegle?
He was streaming.
Yeah.
And he was like, he used to have this thing called 1 Minute Podcast. All right? Don't know if you remember. Yeah, so
I used to like Sneako a lot. Yeah.
He was doing a 1 Minute Podcast, but like on Omegle, and he was just live. And the guy was like, never live at this time. Like this was like way before like he ever started streaming. This was just like, he was bored and he thought, yeah, let me spark up a stream. 200 viewers, Omegle. For me, it was like 4 a.m. because like different time zones and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, let's run it. So that's it. I put in his key phrase or whatever it was, and then matched him and just closed, you know?
Have you ever done anything else scrappy like that to get a client or meet someone, network?
Yeah.
Because you're a very well networked guy from what I've seen.
Thank you.
Like you know a lot of the people that like have been on this podcast personally. Yeah.
You know Abba and Preach? They have a commentary YouTube channel, a couple million subscribers. I closed them on a stream. So Sneako had a panel. We were talking about making money as a kid, right? Sneako was like, no, it's like mad possible. And then Destiny, I think, was like, nah, it's like, you're selling these kids a dream and da-da-da. And then Sneako was like, nah, like my editor, like with enough hustle, like and now he's making some good money and all this other stuff. And I was like the testimony for him. And then Abba and Preach, they saw it, we picked up. Yo, I had a video for those guys on YouTube Shorts. Got like 100 million views or something like that. That video alone got them 100,000 subscribers. One video, you know, it's insane. Like, but yeah, that was relatively scrappy because I was again like on stream, went off stream. There was a few others. The Gideon one wasn't that scrappy. Just like Sneako put me on.
You kind of built your name at this point.
Adrian Harding was from a cold DM on Instagram when I had less than 10K followers. had less than 10K followers on IG, cold DM. The guy had like 400K response. I got his number, FaceTimed him on the exact same day, like a couple hours later, closed him, first payment received, and then worked from there. And we still do work for him now.
Did you write him like a specific message or was it just the copy paste?
No, it's every message, every DM I've ever sent, all hundreds of them and whatever, maybe even thousands, like it's all custom. Every message is custom. The only thing that's not custom is the offer part. But like I'm writing like a personal message.
So what would you like DM me to get my attention? Or like what should someone DM?
I would change it completely now because I have a different type of information. But
like if you wanted to get on this podcast, like what would the first like
if I
line
wanted
be?
to get on the podcast?
Yeah.
I wouldn't send a DM to get on the podcast. I just think like the frame is all wrong, you know?
That's facts. Yeah.
Because the podcast is like an invitation, you know?
Interesting.
That's how I view the dynamic. That's how I think it should be. But like, if I wanted to clip for you, like I would just be like very, very clear. Like, look, I would make the first line of message, literally like 50 million views in 60 days or you don't pay, you know? Then I'd be like, I'm Musa, these are my clients, this is what I do. And I'm telling you, like in the next, I've been able to get X amount of views for these types of clients or for my own pages. Because again, that's something where you can take personal initiative. I was able to get X amount of views in 60 days. And I think with your type of content, I can definitely get X amount of views in 60 days. And if I don't, then don't pay me. You know? DM, reply, hit me back if you're interested.
I mean, dude, you're like at such a high leverage place that I know it's hard for you to talk about some of these like just starting out kind of things. But like Snapchat Spotlight, Facebook, Instagram monetization, Twitter monetization, like do anyone in your programs do these types of things? Do you know anything about it?
As far as I'm concerned, Snapchat, I'm more like leaning towards like creators. Like they want like influencers on their shit. So I'd never really looked into it. And the guys I know that did run Snapchat, maybe you know better than me because it's like more your field than mine. But like guys I know that were running weren't really making like money. Like, but I'm not talking about shows. I'm talking about people that just posted clips from an account.
Oh yeah. It was like a good thing for like the first 2 months of it, like insane. Oh, but yeah, I think it's kind of died. I think they paid me like $30 for 40 million views or something last month. But how about like Facebook? Like what if you coach these clippers, like where do you tell them like the content needs to be posted?
It doesn't even matter. Like just post it wherever gets you paid the most because at the end of the day, like the algorithm principles stay the same no matter where you are, right?
You think so? Like you wouldn't make TikTok specific, YouTube specific?
No, it's simply just because like, look, every platform's objective is to keep users on there as long as possible because the longer they stay on the platform, the more ads they see and the more ads that people see, the more money the platform makes, right? So the platform objective is to develop an algorithm that keeps throwing content at its users that keeps them like watching, you know? So your objective is to make videos that people like, that hold the retention, you know? And every platform's objective is that, it's to hold retention so they can, you know what I'm trying to say? That's why more often than not, like my most viral Instagram videos go viral on TikTok too. My most viral TikTok videos go viral on Instagram, you know? Because at the end of the day, you're going for the same thing.
Yeah, just to close the loop here on clipping, like if you wanted to make 10K in 1 week, like what niche are you picking? Are you doing like the Google VO stuff? Like what would you do?
Yeah, right now I would go more like VO route. But tech stories is like old reliable. It's like one of those things you should have in the foundation of your portfolio of skills when it comes to clipping, you know? There are a few other offers like on the content reward stuff where I would definitely pick those up because
that's what I would do.
CPMs are way too high, bro. Like, and they're rightfully high because clipping is the next generation of marketing. It just is, you know? Like, it's so like clipping is so far behind compared to everything else that like there's so much room to catch up, right? That it's only going to get bigger. Payouts are only going to get higher. Like developing the skill of clipping is only going to get crazier. Like, bro, we're seeing CPMs now. Okay, here's a better way to conceptualize it. How much money do you think is being spent on Facebook ads every day, like Reddit ads, Snapchat ads, Instagram ads? How many videos do you think is being spent on these platforms?
It's got to be like $1 bill a day.
But I don't even fucking know, but it's a lot of money, that's for sure, right? So clipping in terms of spend, like what people are spending on clipping every single month or in total, isn't even like 0.01% of whatever the fuck has been spent on ads. Not even there, you know? That's how small it is. So if you think people paying like $5 CPMs on content rewards is a lot, bro, get ready for $20 CPMs, $50 CPMs, $100 CPMs, because it's only going to get more competitive as more money is injected into the thing. What happens when super big, super big companies, right, start deploying like the amount of ad spend they're throwing at Facebook ads into clipping? Then what? You think you're going to compete with like High Smile? You know High Smile? The teeth whitening brand? Bro, I see their ads all the fucking time where they have like this purple paste and they rub it in
because
your
you're from
teeth.
the UK, brother.
But bro,
I'm joking.
okay.
I'm joking. Belmar told me to say that one.
But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, imagine that spend, but in clipping. Bro, you think you can compete with that spend? Like, no normie is going to be able to compete with that spend. They're going to throw the craziest CPM. They're going to throw the biggest budget. And they're going to take all the best clippers because all the best clippers are going to gravitate to where the most money is, you know?
So say what you really want to say. I had this conversation with Daniel too. Like, Facebook ads is dying. Clipping is like the next Facebook ads. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, 100%. I've marketed every business I've ever had with clipping. I've never lost money on a business.
I feel like people have this weird definition of clipping where they think it's like, I don't know, someone takes our wide shot and just posts a 30-second version of it. Like, it's really just video editing and like repurposing. Like, how would you describe it?
Yeah, it is repurposing, right? So you're taking something that already exists and putting enough of your own twist on it to send it viral again. You know? That's what makes it good, because before you run one ad and it gets X amount of views. Like, now you can take that same video from an organic format and run it again and again and again and again, change the font, change the subtitles, change the music, change the color grade. Now you have a whole new video that can get another 10 million views because the original got 10 million, you know?
So what are you working on, like, with your platform?
Yeah, we're working on fixing the UI, UX, making that process seamless for everyone involved.
For like what content rewards?
For the clippers, for the people who deposit the money, like for the brands that get involved, for the influencers to get involved. We want that process to be as seamless as possible.
What's your playbook for clipping content with your own team? Because I know you don't. Do you clip your content?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, what would you do for my channel, let's say? You don't have to give any super alpha, but...
I would say that you should personally focus on getting as much budget as you can and outcompete your peers whilst you currently can with a content rewards campaign. The clipping campaign, that's probably your best bet right now, because right now people don't take it seriously. They will only throw like 5K in and they'll do like a 50 cent type of CPM. Whereas like if you jump in and do like a $2 CPM even, because that's way better than like what already exists and your content's good, so you can go viral with it pretty easy. And then you drop like 50 bands, like start taking that a bit more seriously, you'll quickly see like...
Do you get to keep the like TikTok monetization stuff, or did the individual clippers keep that?
I mean, that's between you and whatever, but ultimately if they want to keep it, what are you going to do about it?
I personally don't have a low ticket offer for it to be self-sustaining for me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm working on a CPG product right now that I think could be somewhat congruent, but I don't know. I think I'm going to have to get into info or SaaS, bro.
I think SaaS could be good, but it's about patching what hole. Like, what hole do you patch with your software? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Okay. How much money have people made with Crayo?
That's not something we track, but like...
I'm shocked you guys don't have like a leaderboards, bro. Like, I feel like that would like increase retention and like allow you to find clippers. Like, who's performing the best.
It is very true. But like, it's not part of our... I mean, yeah, for something like CR, then yeah, we will. But for something like Crayo, that's just not the case right now, because it's not like our focus. Like, the focus is we are an AI video editor. That's what it is, you know? And like, that's what we just want to keep growing at becoming, you know? But people currently, they leverage it to make more money. But you could say the same about Premiere Pro. Like, should Premiere Pro start tracking income? Like, probably not, you know?
It's interesting though. I guess it just fits in with your funnel so well that like you would be able to monetize.
You would make that assumption, but like ultimately I do want it to be separate. It is an AI video editor, you know?
Are you trying to get acquired by Capcut?
Trying to get acquired by whoever the fuck will pay me $50 million, bro.
That's it?
I want 50 mil for it, yeah.
Isn't it valued at 50 mil now?
No, we haven't had any offers at 50 mil.
Wait, it's 12 mil annual, 7 to 8 multiple.
Yeah, but bro, like Sony it's only worth whatever someone will pay for it. We haven't had a $50 million offer.
Have you reached out?
I don't think dynamic works like that.
Really? You think so?
What am I gonna do? Please, sir, give me money for my company. No, bro, can't make an offer. You know what I'm saying?
I would say that, but a lot of people might not even know you exist. You know? I reach out to brands. I started reaching out to brands recently because we have no deal flow. And like I've been able to close like a few different ones at the rates I would want because they were like, oh yeah, I've seen your stuff, but I didn't know you like did brand deals.
I would do that too if I was in your position with this particular setup. But with the way Crayo works, like I don't want to go hunting for an acquisition. Like I want someone to come to me like, hey, I like your shit. Like this is the offer. I feel like I'll be able to hold frame a lot better, you know?
Yeah, I think there's some method to the madness of people raising VC and that it allows them to get acquired easier.
Well, they have that whole thing. We were literally talking about this like yesterday, how like people have an idea, they raise 10 mil, they drop it on ads, they make 5 mil back in revenue, but because of all the customers, now it's worth $50 million. You know?
And then they raise it another round, so those investors are fine. It's like a pyramid scheme.
Exactly. Then you go again. It's more like a Ponzi, but
yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
But you get what I'm trying to say? Like so there's like this whole thing about it.
So you built $1 million or $50 million software and multi-million-dollar info businesses. What's the real difference in how you launch and scale these? I mean, it's so different because yours are so congruent with each other.
Yeah, but you have different objectives in mind. Like I'm steering like the Crayo ship a lot different to the way I'm steering the info ship. Like ideally I'm not selling courses like next year. Like my goal is to be out of it and just like, cause I've stacked enough for investments, bro. Like I'm just going to focus on that and just like get out of all the influencer space, just work on Crayo and content rewards from a back end distribution perspective. And that's that, bro. But when it comes to Crayo, you're steering it in a different way because you're playing for an exit. It's a whole different game, bro. It's like saying someone that wants to make their first 10K in a month and like showing them exactly what it looks like to play for an acquisition.
Yeah, it's
such
very
a different game.
Even like building a SaaS that's or a software as a service that's for cash flow versus building it for an exit are two very different things.
Or just very different. So yeah, I think the biggest differentiator when I'm like steering these two ships is like the direction I take it in. Like I can take a slower approach when it comes to Crayo and stuff like that. Whereas like with info, everything's like fast paced and like I need to make cash today so I can make cash this month and you know? And then like you don't really care too much about stuff like customer retention because you're just going for cash on the day and all this other stuff. Whereas like with Crayo, like you have no choice but to build a great product, you know? Even now, like my info has to be great. Has to be, because I'm basically developing this entire ecosystem where anytime anyone gets introduced into clipping, every product that they use, start to end, is owned by me, right? So someone who's never heard of clipping hears about it through one of my videos. They learn how to clip from me. They use my software program, Crayo, to make the clip and go to content rewards to get paid for the clip they just made using Crayo, you know? So now it's going to start to end from someone who didn't even know that clipping existed to someone who's now been paid their first 10K for making clips on anything, just clips, you know? So that whole time they didn't have to go anywhere else other than using my products to achieve the entire process, right? So now, in order for that process to work, for that sequence of events to take place, info and Crayo have to be top tier. There's no choice. Because if they're not good, then no one's getting paid. If you don't know how to make a good clip, right, then you're not going to use Crayo correctly to make a good clip, and your clip's not going to go viral, so you're not going to get paid. So my info has to be the best. Crayo has to be the best in order for content rewards to even work. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's like, right now, I do believe Crayo and info I have the best products in the clipping space. Absolutely no doubt about it, right? I'm the thought leader, no doubt. Then that's why I'm even developing the third one in the first place. I've been working on it since like fucking October last year. The reason is because I know it will work because I have the 2 best products in the clipping space. You know what I'm saying? I have the best course. I have the best clipping software, and I'm now going to have the best payout program.
Quick one. If you guys didn't know, clipping is one of the best ways to make your first $10,000 online, and Musa is statistically the best in the game. And since him and I are good friends, he's letting some of you guys work directly with his team to build a digital asset that makes you $300 a day. You can apply simply by hitting the first link in the description or going to start.aiclipping.io/attention-assets. Musa's done tens of billions of views with his clips alone, so working with him is a no-brainer in my opinion. But anyway, guys, back to the podcast. Quick one. I've been building businesses for a few years now, and honestly, it's pretty tedious having to spend weeks setting up LLC paperwork every time I want to start something new. I know exactly what needs to happen. Filing with my state to form the company, hiring a registered agent to get my legal documents, setting up an EIN with the IRS. It's pretty textbook, but time-consuming. Because even though I've done it multiple times, it still eats up mental bandwidth for 2 weeks that I could have spent working on the business and actually, making money. For example, last month, I had this great product idea, but I kept procrastinating because I didn't want to deal with all the formation paperwork. Thankfully, though, I recently got connected with the team at Doula, and these guys handle everything. LLC formation, registered agent, EIN, all the compliance stuff you don't want to do. With Doula, you can set up your entire business structure in under 5 minutes instead of wasting weeks. So if you guys want to skip all the paperwork and start making money ASAP, just go to doula.com/Jack Neel. They offer free consulting calls if you're not sure if it's a good fit, but anyway, guys, back to the podcast.
You no longer have an agency? Or like you still have some agency clients?
No, so all of last year, I took a step back from the agency. I said, my COO is going to handle everything. Don't talk to me. Talk to him. He will handle it all. And I thought, if I start training clients, I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. Like, I'm making money everywhere else. Like, I don't care. All of 2024, we didn't lose a single client.
Wow.
No one left. I didn't do anything. It did $120,000 in revenue every single month, $70,000 in profit.
And that business is still running?
We churned like 3 clients this year. And the reason I couldn't sell the agency is because we didn't develop any way to acquire clients. And I said, I'm done working on this business. I don't want to figure out a way to acquire clients. I'm not going to fucking like shut it down because I'm providing a good service and it doesn't need me to fulfill it. But this year, like, clients hit me up and they're like, yo, like, where you been? And I was like, you've been getting a good service, right? And they're like, yeah, but like, I want you involved and Like, they're looking for me because they're all acquired through my personal brand. And so they're like, I want your expertise and stuff. But
that's the issue with the personal brand too.
Yeah. So anyway, a couple clients left and so right now we're operating at less. So I don't really look at it too much. But we do stuff.
What I'm confused about though is like you have 4 million users on Crayo, roughly?
Yeah, I said 4 million probably. We definitely have 3.5 million.
Okay.
I'm just saying since I last checked.
And then how many like people are customers of your info product?
I don't know.
Like
Good
less than 100,000?
What, like total?
Yeah.
I would probably say more. Like how many people have paid? No, definitely more than 100,000 people have paid. But like,
I'm confused why. So you sell Crayo, but like, does Crayo ever push your info offer?
No.
No.
That wouldn't put it in a good sellable position. The objective is to detach the two as much as possible.
So it's like a congruency in your personal brand, but not in the products itself.
Yeah, it was good for now to like intertwine the two, to like get it to making its first like 10 million, let's say. But now it's time to like start bringing them apart.
How do you find good product market fit with an info offer? Or how do you find good product market fit with a SaaS?
I think just read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. Like in there, it goes over some really core principles, like just very, very foundational to the book. But like they really are foundational to like every entrepreneur's journey. And it really is stuff like understanding Hormozy's concept of a grand slam offer, right? Which is essentially just like an offer, as he puts it in his words, an offer so good, it makes smart people sound dumb for saying no, you know? So stuff like that, you know, because Crayo really was a no-brainer. Like, what's the alternative? Like think about how much friction is involved with starting an Adobe account and getting Premiere Pro and then paying $20 a month. Then Adobe's cancellation thing is like, you pay $20 a month for the whole year, and if you try and cancel, then you have to pay everything up front, and then then you open up Premiere Pro and it's like this massive fucking like dashboard, and it's like,
do you even download Crayo?
No, just go to the website. You know, so
do you think that's some of the sauce with it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's interesting.
Like online video editor, AI SaaS, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't have to.
Is there a free version or is it just trial?
You can use it, and then when you go to export, you just sign up.
Oh, kind of like Capcut. Capcut does it with the features, which is really interesting.
Yeah, they really be leeching off them features, man. But that's just ByteDance.
Okay. So what offer would you make for this podcast?
Takes a lot of thought, bro.
Yeah, I
could
could
take
imagine.
a lot of thought. But ultimately, you got to think about like your customers, the demographic, the positioning, the angle. Like, there's a lot that goes into making like a grand slam offer. But once you have that offer down, everything rolls in from there pretty nicely.
I feel like a podcast clip offer would be pretty good. But do you have that in your course?
Yeah, like I have a section for it, but it's not like a primary focus. But
I think like how to make money on TikTok Shop clipping faceless content is interesting.
I think I know a pretty good offer for you, but we can talk about it off camera. It's not something.
Yeah. Oh no, I just meant that as like a general for someone. I like to like give people ideas. How about a SaaS? You have any SaaS ideas that you haven't built out? Or you just, I know you're so focused.
I'm just focused on dominating the clipping space. And I've done everything like perfectly up until like now. Like, it's just executing on content rewards.
At what point did you realize clipping was going to be bigger than Facebook ads?
When I like made a fucking $1 million for my bedroom, and I was just like the forefront of clipping, and that was it. And I was like, damn, like, this shit real.
Wait, so why do you run Facebook ads for Crayo then?
It's consistent. Like a bit more consistent. Like, the only organic distribution we currently have up until like this month was just my Instagram. So on my TikTok, that was it. So
and Daniel as well, right?
Yeah, Daniel's YouTube videos as well. Up until like now, when I've like developed a distribution system, we built a cold traffic funnel and all this other stuff. Up until now, like, it's just been IG. So right now we're using Facebook to like just keep growth consistent, because the last thing I want to do is let it drop. And then yeah.
Do you target your followers?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Of course, yeah. It gets
That's
hits
really
as a byproduct. Like, when I'm running ads for info, the creatives have Crayo in there.
When you're running ads for info, the creatives have Crayo in them.
Yeah. Like, the videos say, go to Crayo.ai. So.
Interesting. What advice do you have for Facebook ads in general? Because it's something I don't really understand.
I'm not an ad manager, bro. I'm not a media buyer.
How much do you spend on Facebook ads every day?
During my peak, like $20K a day, but like...
Is that like the main driver of Crayo, or has it mostly been like your organic funnel?
No, it's mostly been organic. We haven't even really ran ads like that for Crayo. That was more for info, but...
You paid Mr. Beast $50K for a phone call.
Yeah.
Was that actually Mr. Beast?
No, bro. It was AI. he actually commented on that video.
Yeah? What'd he say?
He was like, why the fuck do you make like this fake version of me? And it's funny because I say in the video, like, I've been using AI to make X amount of money, just like the beginning of this video. And like, no one, I don't know, no one clocked it for some reason.
Bro, it's so believable, honestly. I could tell by the script that you'd given the AI that it wasn't him.
Well, yeah, because I said, Musa, you're the best at clipping. Like, of course it's fucking not Mr. Beast.
But it sounds like something someone would say, honestly. It's crazy.
But yeah, that took me like 2 hours probably to really, because like, it's one thing to get like a fake Mr. Beast and you type in the script and you get them to say it, and that's one thing. But it's another thing to like get the tonality correct, and because like the intro, like the beginning of that bit where we're talking is super believable, where it's like, hey, Musa, just working on a couple of things. Like, whenever you put it through an AI and you just type it, or like, I don't know, AI just doesn't get it right. What I had to do was I had to talk myself, not only like in his accent, because I can't talk in a British accent, then it turns it American. So I would talk in an American accent, right? In his accent, in the tonality that I think matched his, and also in one that matches the base of the conversation, and then switch it to his voice to make it sound like him.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was really
What was the
techy.
first line he said in the video?
Yeah, it was like, hello, Musa.
So how did you say it with the American accent?
I was saying it in an American accent, not in his American accent, but with his tonality and like how he pronounces his words, his mannerisms. These.
You know what's so funny? I tried to, I was looking for new businesses to start, and I was thinking about AI rap, because I'm actually pretty good at writing rap lyrics. It's a weird fact about me. And I realized with the models that you had to like sound like the people. So like I was like trying to do like DaBaby or like Kendrick Lamar or like Central C, and I would have to like do the thing that you're talking about with the tonality to make it sound right. That's really, what software did you use for that? Obviously Crayo.
Yeah, Crayo, yeah. What other software is that?
Definitely not Descript or something like that. 11 Labs. Yeah, your co-founder is Daniel Bitton, an 18-year-old who is extremely talented. How do you find friends who will make you rich?
You have to have enough self-discipline to develop enough conviction in your ability to filter people, right? So if you don't trust yourself, then you're not going to trust your ability to filter out bad people, right? Like, it doesn't take me long to realize, like, yeah, I don't want to be around this guy. Like, I don't like him. I think he's a fraud. Like, I think he's a liar. I think he's this. I think he's that. It doesn't take me long to do that. But the reason it doesn't take me long to do that is because I trust my ability to find those people and weed them out, you know? That comes from, like, my upbringing of self-discipline. Like, you know how it is, bro. No drink, no smoke, virgin, on the grind, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing that, like, my whole life. So my ability to stay disciplined and be a man of my word to myself, right? It contributes to my ability to trust myself. And in that process, trust myself to find out the people who would do me wrong, the people who are lying to me, and so on, until you find, like, your good group of people, you know?
Yeah, you seem very observant of people. And I think maybe that's why I thought you were so intelligent off the jump. Like, we would be with a group of people or just around people, and I could tell you, like, just observing, seeing, like, little things. Like, have you had bad experiences in the past, or were you like a quiet kid in school?
I mean, yeah, bro, like, it's part of the journey, you know, especially so young, like, you're learning all the time. So, of course, I've had, like, fuck-ups where I've trusted the wrong people and all this other stuff. And it just teaches you the lesson of, like, being more observant. Like, don't take red flags as something light. Like, pick them up and weed them out. And
what are some red flags in a business partner or a co-founder? Or maybe, like, how do you know someone's a scammer?
For me, it's like persistent little lies, you know? Like, it's inconsistencies, a lot of it. A lot of it is inconsistencies, you know? Like, if I was to tell you one thing, and then tell him one thing, and then him one thing, and then him one thing, and we're all talking about the same thing, but the number keeps changing, even like a little bit, you know? Or like the story keeps changing a little bit. Or like you saw what happened in real life. You didn't interpret it that way, but that's how they did, you know? Like, and it just doesn't seem, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can feel it. Like, you can see it, you can feel it, and stuff like that even needs to be like, tackled head on, and you have that uncomfortable conversation and you address it, or you can just like leave it and just not talk to that person and weed them out, you know?
So how did you know Daniel was like legit?
I like his brutal honesty, and I also like his ability to tackle difficult situations head on. Because a lot of people don't want to have those conversations. I'm definitely one of those people that, like, if I see some shit, I'm gonna address it. You know, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna speak my mind. Obviously when appropriate and stuff like that, because there's a time and a place. But yeah, I think that's why I like about him. There's not a lot of this like soft stay away from the conflict type of thing. Like, if we got a problem, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's handle it. Whereas, like, definitely feel like that's not a very big thing in America, personally.
Very true.
Definitely not.
It's
LA
not
thing.
in the UK, is it? Or are UK people blunt?
Bro,
Yeah.
have you ever been to the UK?
No, I'm supposed to go
Bro,
pretty soon.
I think UK is like the most blunt place.
Yeah.
Like, people, bro, here, like, they'll say like, like, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Like, in the UK, it's like, move. Like, I don't want to sit next to you, you know, like, leave me alone. That type of thing. Like, it's very head on. Like, bro, like, here, if you're walking around, you smile, you'll get some smiles back. UK, like they either just don't look back at you, or if they do, like you just get that cold stare. It's like that type of thing, but it's better that way. I think like people just being more real with each other. It might not be as like sunshine and rainbows, but
it's more protective of your energy. You have to be protective of the self so you can serve yourself and then eventually serve others. It's like the whole you can't pour from a glass that's half empty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll just give people the rundown of this. You're a 22-year-old millionaire. Sorry, 22-year-old multimillionaire. Why don't you party or drink?
It's just not my scene. Bro, those things are subjective. People forget about it, right? Same with like watches and cars. Like those things are subjective, you know, like they appeal to.
You're not wearing a watch, are you?
No, I'm not wearing a watch.
Huh.
They appeal to people who like those things. I just don't like those things. I don't see the benefit. And even like from like the perspective of having a fun time, I don't think it's a fun time. So I just don't go or do it, you know? And one of my friends was having this discussion. There's like 3 ways to learn things, right? You either see it, you hear it, or you do it. So just because I haven't drank doesn't mean I have to drink to figure out it's not a good time. You know, like I learned that from observation. Same with stuff like sleeping around. Same with stuff like going to the club. Like I don't have to go to a club, right, with a massive room with speakers going crazy, with drunk people going around everywhere, like to know that, okay, I probably don't like that. You know what I'm trying to say? I can just not like it, and I don't like the look of it, you know? And that's enough for me. And I have fun doing other shit. And that might not be fun to people who go to the club, but for me, it's enough. And that's how I want to live my life, you know? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all trying to do. Like, I don't want to buy big flash supercars. I don't want to buy like watches and stuff like that. I even bought a bunch of watches and I just sold them all. But I want to like do other shit. Like I want to buy like a massive patch of land and get like 50 cars, have all my friends, have strangers, like get them do a demolition derby, or like real life Rocket League, or like so just some shit like that, you know, like buy a car, buy 2 massive football nets, like get a pitch and like get a massive football, like some shit like that. Like that would be so much more fun, you know, to me. Like the idea of that is hilarious. Like I want to do some shit like that, you know, as opposed to like getting a car or going to the club and dropping 20 on bowls, you know?
Guys, I will expose Musa. We have been to the club together, but within about 7 minutes of us being there, he was like, hey, do you want to go play pool? And I was like, bro, like, yeah, I'm down. I was kind of over it too.
I was told it was like what was it? It was the crypto thing.
Yeah.
There was like, I don't even know what was going on. I was told like we were going to like a diner. That's what I was told. We go there, we go downstairs, and he was like, yo, you want to go play pool? And then we just sat outside and we played pool for hours.
I also like your philosophy because it's there's like a quote by Charles Darwin, like, and he says that organisms that adapt through trial and error will not survive as long as organisms that adapt through observation. I really don't think you have to try all the stuff to know whether or not you like it or dislike it. And I like that about your philosophy. What lesson did you learn earlier than most kids?
Definitely discipline. Like people really put that shit under the rug, but it's the core fundamental philosophy for everything. It's a life practice for everything, you know, because it affects how you do everything. Like it affects all of your relationships. It affects your frame entering like any level of business, or even like friendships even, or like just any room you ever step into, any discussion you enter. Like all of these things all boil down to discipline, because without like the concept of self-mastery, you are going to struggle to do anything, even stuff like trusting other people, stuff like trusting yourself, stuff like basically living out your desired reality. You know, you want to get to a point where you live the life you want to live. You're going to struggle to do that without discipline. And I've had that shit unlocked my whole life. There's never been a point in time where I haven't had that unlocked, you know? And that's definitely like, even now I look at some people and I'm like, damn, you don't even have the self-discipline, right, to apply yourself at your big age right now, you know? Like, when are you going to man up? When are you going to grow up a little bit? You know what I'm trying to say? Because that's like the floor of it. And I struggle to feel sorry for some people who don't live the life. They live miserable lives, you know? you got a kid and you got a wife and everyone's poor and you can't even afford nice things, that is your fault as a man, because you can't apply yourself. You can't stay disciplined. You can't say, I'm going to do this even though I don't want to do it, you know? Like, and as much as I should feel sorry for people like that in those type of circumstances, because they're sorry circumstances, but I definitely struggled to do so because I learned that thing at such a young age. And that's not like I learned it at a young age and that's why I have it now. Like, it's a choice. At the end of the day, there's an element of cognitive dissonance to something like that, where you make the conscious decision to every single time break that covenant with yourself. You make that choice. You go on a diet, you make that choice to break that commitment to yourself, you know? And that makes you less and less of the person you want to be. And as a result, less and less likely to end up living out the life you want to live. So yeah, definitely self-discipline being the backbone of absolutely everything when it comes to living the life you want to live.
Would you say it's predominantly because of Islam? Is it because like your family is very devout? Like, are you from an area, or you guys moved to the UK, right? Or you were born in the UK?
No, so I was born there.
Born where?
In the UK.
Yeah. Okay. So you were born in the UK. Were there a lot of Muslims in that area?
No, like in my school, there wasn't a lot. In like my neighborhood, there wasn't a lot. And I wouldn't really put it down to Islam either, because again, like there's plenty of way more devout Muslims that just end up not as disciplined as me. It really is a choice. Like, even, I wouldn't say my parents are as disciplined as I am. And I'm not talking about religion, just in life in general, right? Your ability to stay disciplined to yourself. Like, I wouldn't say I know many people that are as disciplined as I am, you know? And those things don't really come down to anything other than like the personal choice you make. Because like I said, there's an element of cognitive dissonance to it, and you choose whether you do or don't break that covenant. And I just chose not to do it. And as a result, you know, you progress a bit quicker.
But why do you want to be disciplined?
I wanted to be disciplined because I wanted to live the life that I dreamt of, that I currently live now. And I was never able to do that without discipline. Because
so did you always want to be rich, like when you were a kid?
Always. I didn't see a life where that wasn't the case, you know? And if there was a life where that wasn't the case, I didn't want to live it, you know? So it was my only option. And the discipline is definitely the backbone of it all, because it's that self-trust that allows you to develop the conviction to achieve the things that you set out to do. Like when I said to myself when I was younger, like just believing that I can do this, you know, like having that conviction, like having enough of that conviction, that all stems from your ability to know that if I stick to this long enough, I can achieve this. And I know that I can stick to this long enough because I'm a disciplined person. I know that I can make the commitment to myself to say, I'm not going to stop until I make 100K in a month, you know? And that all comes from discipline. If you're not a disciplined person, you don't even trust yourself to work 2 hours if you make the commitment to do it. But I knew that I could do it because I knew that I could make a covenant to myself and stick to it.
I guess though, like why did you want money? Did you have an early experience when you were younger where you saw someone that was rich and you wanted those things?
No, man, I grew up like working class, middle class type of family. Both my parents had jobs. They were both working 9 to 5s. I went to school. I never had to worry about like clothes, never had to worry about food on the table, never had to worry about any of those things. So like relatively comfortable upbringing. It was more so like if I wanted to get an Xbox, I had to earn the money and get it myself. Like my parents wouldn't buy that for me. If I wanted to like build a new FIFA, I had to earn it.
How'd you make your first $100?
Rocket League.
What'd you do on Rocket League?
I was trading skins, trading wheels, trading this and that. And then I met some guy, he was like 25 on like Xbox live chat. And he was like, yo, I'll pay you $200 for everything you got. And I was like, go on then. And then he like sent the money to my dad's PayPal, sent the money first. And then I gave him the stuff.
How old were you?
Like 11, 12, something like that.
Do you think that was like a pretty pivotal moment for you?
Definitely. Because like, as far as I was concerned, I was just trading with other kids that I played with on Rocket League. I was like, oh, this shit's hard. I'm gonna put that shit on, you know? And then one day some guy hit me up and apparently it was worth something. And I was like, yeah, well, take it. I'd rather the cash. So I had the cash and I was good fun. I bought an iPad with it and whatnot. But yeah, that was cool, you know? So that was definitely my first part of like making money online, you know?
It's interesting. I used to do that with NBA 2K. I think. I know you're from. Did you play 2K growing up?
I didn't play. I have a lot of friends that play 2K.
Yeah, big
But
FIFA
I
guy.
don't play 2K. I'm a FIFA guy, yeah.
It seems like everywhere besides the States is like big FIFA. Maybe just the UK predominantly. South
Okay.
America and stuff.
American realizes there's more than NBA outside of America.
Bro, I played FIFA a little bit like last year. It's honestly like way more of a fun game than 2K.
Where people don't realize that like Cristiano Ronaldo is bigger than the entire NBA.
100%.
Like way bigger. Like
They get paid way more too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, no, not particularly. I think it's relatively similar. America has a lot more.
He's looking like, yeah, they do. They do.
I've seen like NBA players sign like $50, $60 million contracts.
Are your parents together?
They're not. They divorced when I was 11.
What did your parents' divorce teach you about relationships?
It taught me that the norm isn't always applicable in every scenario, because I went to go and live with my dad full time. So I was going back and forth, like 4 days with my mom, 3 days with my dad, back and forth up until I was 11. No, up until I was 13. Got divorced when I was 11. Then when I was 13, I told my mom like, yo, I'm going to go live with my dad full time. She was like, how come? And I was like, I don't want 2 homes. I want 1 home. And my dad was living out my childhood home where like I grew up. And then I told her like, look, like I want to grow up to be a man. Like, you can't do that. You're a woman.
How old were you?
I was 13.
You said that?
Yeah, I was like, you can't. I mean, it's pretty foundational thinking. Like, I was like, I want to grow up to like be a man, and you're a woman. So if I grow up with you, you're gonna raise me to be a woman. If I grow up with my dad, you're gonna raise me to be a man. Like that was my logic at the time, you know. Anyway, I chose to live with my dad full time. I've been living with him full time since. Then when I was like 16, my dad remarried. So she's now my stepmom. She's great. I love her. So now they live together. I live with them. And then my mom doesn't live far. She was like fucking 15 minutes away.
What did you say it taught you about relationships though?
I think it just taught me that you can always trust people to be people. You know? Like, you can't force anyone to do anything. You can't control anyone to any degree. And people are gonna do whatever they want to do, and you just gotta learn to maneuver around that, you know? Because once someone's made the commitment themselves to go and do something, like there's nothing you can really do to change that, you know? And you gotta learn how to move on that. Is also the fact that you don't have to trust people that you're around. They just have to be predictable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just have to know that if we're friends, I don't have to trust you 100%. I just have to trust in my ability to read the fact that if we were in any particular situation, I could predict what you were going to do, so I'm not let down when you do it, you know? And I think that's actually a pretty big life lesson, I would say. That's something that I definitely use now even, you know? Just as a way of being friends with people that you don't 100% trust.
Because people are shitty and most people aren't trustworthy. I fully agree with that. I've definitely fall to that framework of like, if they're predictable and I feel like the variables are controlled, then we can have a fun relationship. But sometimes you overestimate how much you can predict people. Sometimes you underestimate how intelligent someone really is.
There's a lot of projection involved too. Like, you would think, why the fuck would anyone do that? That's so stupid. But that's not how they see it. And then as a result, it's now a possibility for them to do that thing, you know? So a lot of the times you're projecting a lot of your own intelligence onto someone else as if they have a similar level of intelligence, when more often than not, they don't. It could be higher. It could be lower, you know? But like, there's a lot of that going on where you think something is silly. Someone else doesn't see it that way. Because realistically, the entirety of life is subjective, other than like a few things. 2 + 2 is 4. This type of stuff.
That's so true, man. I realized that when I was like 19 with a good friend. Like a good example would be like, if I kicked you in the face right now, you might think that's a bad idea because it's like we're doing a podcast and like you're a successful individual. We're in the same space and we might want to maintain a relationship long term. But you might have made fun of my hair. And where I'm from, people who make fun of each other's hair get kicked in the face and then they're boys after. But like, People see things very differently. Do you try to find people who see the world the same way as you when you surround yourself, or is it just about predicting them?
No, I don't care if you see the world the same way as me. Just be real in the way you see the world yourself, right? So I just need people that are honest and genuine about how they see shit. You know, we don't have to agree. In fact, I'd rather we disagree. As long as you're being authentic in how you say these things and how you navigate our like relationship. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just need real people, like someone that's going to be honest. Like, I even have some friends that said like, yo, if like a fight kicked off right now, like, I'm not going to back it. Like, I don't want to fight. I'm not getting involved, you know? And like, that's fine. Like, I predicted that's something they would do anyway. But I know that like, given the circumstance, if shit goes down or I go into an environment where something could happen, he's not someone to be with. But at least you're honest, you know? And I might not be like close friends with someone like that, but I can definitely like, oh yeah, like we're in the same city, let's go and get food, you know? But like, if I can't tell or you lie a lot or like you're disingenuous, you're performative, you care too much about like what others think, like I can't be friends with people like that.
Yeah, I've ran into that one before, especially like with the fighting thing. It's like, yeah, bro, I'll back you. And they don't. It's like, oh, yo, I'll back you next time. And then they don't. And it's like, bro, like this is insane.
Yeah,
it's like just tell me that you don't want to fight. It's okay.
Yeah, it's part of why I'm still really close with all my friends from home, because like I know that like money aside, like these guys got me. You know, they're my friends. They care about me like family do. You know.
Yeah. So at 22 years old, your company is worth $30 million. Why don't you want to be a billionaire?
It's just not something I want to do. Like, at the end of the day, we're all living in pursuit of our desired reality, right? So for some people, that their desired reality is living in maximum capacity for the hereafter. That's what they believe, you know? For some people, it's just endlessly working. Like, I use this comparison a lot, like Imran Ghazi. I don't want to do what he does. He's gonna lap me, like in business. He's gonna clear me, you know? In fact, and that's fine. Like, that's what he wants to do. He wants to make 10 mil, reinvest it, make 100 mil, reinvest it, make $1 billion, reinvest it, and just keep playing the game of business. That's his passion. That's what he lives for, right? I just don't have that same passion. I like to chill. I like to relax. I don't like having a big team. I want to keep things lean. I want to keep things small. I like the peace of mind. And I don't like the burden that comes with business. I like the burden that comes with business up until a 9-figure payout. He likes it up until a 10 or 11. And I'm not built for that. I don't want to do that. That's not how I want to live my life, you know? So that's like the reason I don't want to be a billionaire is just because I don't want the troubles that come with being a billionaire. You know, I don't want the burden along the journey. I don't want how long it takes. Like, I don't want any of those things. It's too much. I'd rather not have it, you know, than have the burdens that come alongside it.
It's interesting when you meet like a disciplined, above average intelligence individual, and it's like whatever they want is what they have. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. But it's like, honestly, I don't know if you're capable. You likely are, but you actually don't want it. You know?
I mean, but
with you, it's like, I know you could be a billionaire, but it's like, it's just what trade-offs are you willing to make?
There's one of my favorite poets, Rumi. He says, what you seek is seeking you. And I think it's a really, really good quote from his poem, simply just because like all the things that you sought out to desire, whatever you truly want in your heart are the things that they pan out, every single one. Like I'm actually working on a video right now, and in the video I go over this concept, and I say in it, if you were in a court, if you was in a court case, right, in front of a jury, in front of a judge, and you're fighting against your biggest hater, right? And the case is to say that you want to be a millionaire, right? How strong would your case be against your biggest hater? Because more often than not, people that say they want to be a millionaire and aren't a millionaire have a very weak case. Like, my case is super strong. I've been working since 13. I've been putting up shots to become a millionaire since like 16. Then I turned millionaire 19, then multi-millionaire in my 20s. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, even if I hadn't turned a millionaire, let's say just before I turned 19, just before I turned a millionaire, if you look back, there was 6 years of work of me putting up shots. Like, there's a lot of proof that I wanted this shit. Whereas like a lot of people that say they want to be a millionaire, like, how much work have you put in? You've done your 9 to 5. Did you do your 5 to 9? You know, like there's a lot of people that really haven't put in that extra shift. Your biggest hate is winning that case, bro. You know?
I think usually if you don't have something or aren't very close to getting it, you don't actually want it, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of people as well, they love to make this whole claim like, you know, like, oh, I work harder than you, da 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 da. Like, okay, bricklayers, yeah, I'm sure they do, but how many shots did they put up at making $1 million? If you're bricklaying, you're not putting up a shot to make $1 million. You're putting up a shot to make fucking 60K a year, 50K a year. Probably less, you know? But like, you're not putting up a shop to make $1 million. So yeah, you're working hard, but you're not working hard to make $1 million. So of course you're not going to make $1 million. Fucking idiot, you know? Like, but there's a lot of that.
That's a good framework. I've never heard someone put it well, like that concept of like working hard, labor jobs. Because like I know those people do work hard, but they're
way harder than me.
Focused on the goal that you're focused on.
You're shooting at making 50K a year. If you want to say you're working harder to make 50K a year, yeah, you are. Way harder than me. But I'm working hard to make $1 million. That's why I made $1 million, you know? You didn't put up any shots. You didn't even take one shot at the $1 million target. I've only shot the $1 million target. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, yeah, of course, you've been working hard over here and I've been working hard over there. And you got what you wanted and I got what I wanted. It's that simple. I think a lot of people, they don't truly understand what it means to want something, you know? Like down, let's say true to your core, true to your heart, what you truly believe. Like you can say something like if you have less than $10 in your account, let's say you have $10 in your account, right? And you can say like $10,000 isn't a lot of money. But like if you got less than $10 in your account, 10 grand is probably a lot of money to you. You can say it, but you don't believe it in your heart, in your core, you know? You don't believe that shit. Deep down in your subconscious, you don't believe it. And to me, being able to make that mental switch to truly deep down believing something like 10K is not a lot of money is where your physical reality catches up. Because at the end of the day, there is no action that precedes a thought. Thought comes first every single time, you know? So you have to first make the mental switch before you can make the physical switch. You have to first believe it subconsciously down to your core before you can physically bring that into reality. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I struggle with this one. I hate to be so disagreeable with Musa, but he's such a smart guy that I have to challenge it a little bit. I've recently kind of had the opposite thoughts, that your actions create your thoughts, and that like the environment that you put yourself in and the things you observe are ultimately generating your thoughts. But I don't know.
I think that it can work that way. Like, let's say, for example, you don't think 10K is a lot of money. No. Then, or let's say you do think 10K is a lot of money, right? Then I bring you around, me and all my friends. How much are you paying for rent? 80K a month. How much are you paying for rent? 100K a month. How much are you making a month? 700K a month. Fuck. How much was the jet just to get there? 30K. Fuck. Like, yeah, 10K is not a lot of money. And you saw that shit, then it switched. But like that mental pivot is what will then bring it into your reality in the first place. That's just what it took for you to mentally pivot. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So yeah, like you saw it, then you mentally pivoted, but you didn't physically pivot. You know what I'm trying to say? Your reality doesn't align with your belief now. But that's what I'm saying. You have to first mentally get there, then your physical reality will align. And in no world does that. Does your physical reality come first? And if it does, it still aligns with your mental reality. Yeah. Hence why people that win the lottery, what is it? 79% of them like go broke again. So they're thinking in a poverty-ridden mindset. Once their physical reality's up here and the mental one's down here, they come right back down to being broke again. Because every single time it aligns with your physical reality, with your mental reality. But people say mind over matter. They don't realize that mind and matter are one. They're the same thing, you know? So you need to bring your mental, your subconscious level up here financially, then your physical reality will align, you know?
That's a great argument, honestly. Because something I preach is like, if you're not wealthy or like don't even know what actions to take, like just get yourself around one wealthy person. And you'll notice like how they view life, of course, but also like what actions they're taking that are different than the ones you are.
not only that, bro, like the perspectives. But there's a whole other thing, bro. Like I did mine through brute force. Like for me, TikTok used to pay like $100 for a million views. Now they pay 1,000. And I was doing like 50 to 100 million views every single month across like Faceless pages. And I was like, bro, 100 million views. I was making like what, 10K? I was gassed. I was like, yeah, fuck, big baller. Then their new program rolled out where they pay 1,000. And I was like, fuck, like, bro, 1,000? That's like 100K a month. Like 100 million views is super easy to get, which means 100K in a month is super easy to get. I got there physically. Then the next month, I made like 170K, you know? I got there physically, then I got there. I got there mentally, then I got there physically. You know what I'm trying to say? It was the mental framework. So the situation, I learned a skill and then pursued the opportunity that lies within that skill. And then that's how I rewired my brain. So you can do it by surrounding yourself with it. You can do it by seeking opportunity and brute force and stuff like that. There's plenty of ways to do it, but your objective should always be to truly deep down in your core believe that, like, you know, whatever your financial milestone is, believe that that's a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. And then your reality can match up. Even says in the Quran, verse 13:11, God does not change the condition of a person until they change from within themselves. You know, you have to change your internal state, change from within, and God changes your external condition. You know, says it in the book. There's there's a bunch of stuff like that, bro. So it even says, like, one of my favorite books in the Kabbalion, the first Hermetic principle that it goes over, that all is mind, the mind is all. You know, it's called the universe, you know, like it's your world is based around you, your perspectives, your life, everything you manifest. People think that manifestation is something that you just spawn in. It's something that you decide to turn on, you know, as if you didn't manifest all the bad things in your life as well. You've been manifesting, you know, manifesting is like a reflex, like breathing. You've been doing it your whole life, you know? So all the bad things, that's why I'm saying, like, bro, every belief you have either serves you or controls you. And most people don't realize that when they say they want to be a millionaire, what they're actually doing, based on what they actually believe in their core, is manifesting what they believe in their heart. And what they believe is that $2,000 is a lot of money. It's really hard to get a job. It's really hard to get money. It's really hard to find true love. It's really hard to find loyal friends. All these things lead to a miserable life. And they've been manifesting those things their entire life, because until their beliefs change, until their internal state changes, reality doesn't change as well. People, you know, everyone's so caught up on this whole, like, I'm going to manifest a good life. No, bro, you manifested a bad one.
What's really interesting about the speaking things into existence and believing things is that, like, and you said this previously, is that the circumstances do change. Like, one for me is I want to be a top podcast, right? Or I'll rephrase just so I don't throw it off. Like, I want to be number one podcast or number one monetized podcast at the very least. And I noticed I kept getting recognized more and more and more by people. And, like, I hate being recognized. It's like something like that, like, I've never enjoyed in my life. But I realized that the more I was like, fuck, this sucks. Like, fuck, this sucks. Like, I was like, it's not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to be number one. So I have to be, like, grateful for it constantly. And I have to be grateful for all the bad things that are happening to me, because they're specifically designed to align with, like, the inner mission of whatever thing I'm trying to accomplish. And I think when people say they want to be a millionaire and bad stuff starts happening, they just, like, don't realize that that's part of the plan of what they've set to be. But this is going to be this is like a brain rot ass question to ask, but like, what mindset do you need to make 10K a month clipping on TikTok? Or, like, what, like, actionable step would you give to someone to give them the confidence that they can make 10K a month?
I think just see for yourself how easy it is to get 1 million views.
But people who aren't going to take the action, like, people who are listening right now, they're like, oh, I know how to do it, but they're not going to post a video. Like, what would you tell them?
Can't help those people.
Interesting.
They got to help themselves. Bro, think about it. Like, okay, I've said this plenty of times. So let's say someone that loves to look at rich people in a condescending manner. And I go to, there's 2 shops, right? It's 2 stores, grocery stores, right? One of them, they sell an apple for $1.50, and the other one, they sell an apple for $2, right? I go to the store that sells an apple for $2, right? If I buy the apple for $2, knowing that there's one down the street for $1.50, the people who look at rich people in a condescending manner go, look at this guy being so wasteful for his money. He can go and get it 50 cents cheaper, literally 25% discount just by walking down the street. But he doesn't care. He's rich. He's just going to spend it. It doesn't matter. Look, you know what I'm trying to say? Now, if I step out the store and go to the $1.50 store and I buy the apple, they say, look at this guy. He's cheaping out on his money. Motherfucker's like trying to save 50 cents like he's not a fucking millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get it either way. You're going to be hated either way because your mindset has put you in that position. It's holding you back, you know? So no matter, bro, someone that's not willing to take the action, someone that's not willing to make any change, that's not willing to flip their belief on anything, yeah, bro, like, you just don't have a choice. You just suck. Like, nothing's going to change for you. I once having a conversation with a girl, we used to have a lot of good conversations, right? She told me like, oh, you know, sometimes on your podcast, you come across as out of touch. And I was like, well, yeah, I should. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I should hope I come across as out of touch because what does it mean to be in touch? What is an in-touch thought, right? Well, in-touch thoughts are like, bro, people bitching about situationships and like, my partner doesn't do this and relationship issues.
Watching Love Island.
Yeah, like I don't have that shit. People complaining about a lack of good relationship with their parents. I don't have that shit. People complaining about financial issues. I don't have that shit. Like, of course I'm out of touch. Life's going well for me. Life's not going well for people that are in touch, you know? Like being in touch is the literal definition of misery seeks comfort. Like, yeah, you want me to be in touch with you, but being in touch just means being able to resonate with your struggle. And I don't have that, you know?
I think what you said about the Apple example is so beautiful. And I don't know if you meant it in this way as well, but it's like if you judge someone for their spending habits, like, oh, they're living life too bougie, or oh, he's such like a cheap ass. Like, you are both saying that you don't want the money to live a bougie life and you don't want the money to like be frugal. So you're stuck in this middle ground of where you buy things that are expensive. You, I don't know, leave like, I mean, you should leave tips. Like you spend your money wastefully if you judge people for those two habits. And I know so many people, like pretty much everyone judges people for either being too cheap or being too like lavish. It's really interesting thought. So do you like actively try not to, like you're someone who doesn't buy anything. Like do you try not to judge a guy if he has a watch that he shouldn't afford?
I mean, I don't. Like it's got nothing to do with me. That's what you want to do with your, like everyone's living the life they want to live to some degree, right? If you want to buy a watch because you like the flex and you like being admired and all this other stuff, it might not even be for that. Again, that's just another like assumption I'm making. You might like the watch because you like the clockwork. That's it. If that's what you like and you like the mechanics and you like a collection, for you it's like Pokemon card equivalent but for adults, go ahead. Enjoy it. Do your thing. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. But if you want to do it, that's fine. I can see why you'd enjoy it. It's cool.
I really like your perspective on trying to be optimistic about seeing other people do things that you wouldn't do yourself. You said prostitutes could have a purer heart than a saint. Can you kind of explain that to me?
I mean, it all comes down to your intent, right? Like if from the outside, we would look at someone like a prostitute and you would heavily judge, like we all would to some extent, you know? But it's about the objective of not doing that because you don't know what she believes deep down. You don't know to the extent of the purity in her heart. You don't know like to what level of kindness there is in there, mercy, these type of things, you know? Might not be like honor and dignity and pride, but there's definitely like a lot of kind things that can reside in there that you wouldn't know about and people would just be quick to write off because of their profession, you know? And obviously those things are backed by like, okay, more often than not, prostitutes might be like rowdy or a bit more masculine by nature and just not like those type of gentle things that you're talking that you would consider. But that's not a good excuse to write it off because again, you don't know them. And bro, how many times have we seen like saints be touching up kids and this and that? And you know what I'm saying? Like that shit exists as well, bro. They're arguably worse.
Yeah, what do red pill guys get wrong about relationships?
It's nowhere near as black and white as they love to make it out to be. They love to say stuff like, based on this statistic, we have to do this with our women and do that with our women and all this other stuff when that's not necessarily the case because you can always rely on people to be people. For example, bro, like you can track your girl's every location. You can pin her down. You can make her wear whatever clothes. You can make her delete her Instagram and delete all her posts. You can make her unfollow every single guy. But if she wants to cheat and she's not happy with the relationship, she's going to go and cheat regardless. She will tell you like, oh yeah, I went to work and I had to do an extra hour of work, and she went and linked Gary instead, you know, like you can, that's going to happen. The only thing you can do is you have to trust in a woman's ability to not identify herself as a cheater. She couldn't bear to stand to face herself if she did something like that, you know? And like, that's on you to try and find a woman like that, you know? But ultimately you can only rely on people to be people, and you have to hope that one day you meet a girl that aligns in that particular way.
What does it mean exactly though to align in that way? Like, how would you know if a girl would never see herself as a cheater?
Observation. And again, it's like your ability to trust yourself and your own intuition. The same way you would filter a friend out, it's the same way you would filter a girl out, you know? So like, for example, like myself, I'm waiting for marriage, right? And I want to uphold that because I want my first time to be with someone that I care for. Now, if that wasn't the case, then I would just be sleeping around, and you can't really, like, nothing can stop me other than me from doing those things. It's the same with everything. You know, the only person that can stop you from doing something or not doing something is yourself, you know? And you need to find someone who has that same alignment of belief, you know? Like I couldn't cheat because I couldn't stand to face myself. I couldn't stand to face God. I couldn't bring myself that low. That's how I view it, you know? And you need to find someone who aligns on that belief, that perspective. And then that's how you would like stop someone from cheating, as opposed to just unfollow everyone, like delete your Instagram. And you know what I'm saying? One time, I was on like a date with a girl, right? We went and got dinner, and then after she was like, oh, let's get matcha. I never had matcha, but I was like, oh, I'll try it, right? So we go, I go to the counter, I place the order, I go and pick up the drinks. And when I come back, there's another guy just like approached her, right? And I get back, hand her a drink, and the guy says, oh, like, can I get your number? And she looked at me, waiting for me to say something. And I'm like, yeah, I could intervene and be like, nah, bro, like, she's with me, like, don't chat to her, da, da, da. But ultimately, if she wanted to give her number, me doing that doesn't change the core problem. The core problem is that she wanted to give her number. So she looked at me, and I looked back at her and said, give him your number then. And do it. If you give me your number, I'm just not going to see you again, you know? But like, why should I be the one intervening? Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You give it to him then. Anyway, she said, no, like, I have a man, I'm with him, and all this other stuff. And then that was it. She went. But you get what
I'd say that's the easiest predictor.
You get what I'm trying to say there? Like,
fidelity, yeah. 100%.
I shouldn't be like, I don't care to, like, get involved and be like, no, back away, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go and give it then. If you want to give it, give it.
Yeah, I heard you talk about on a previous podcast that one of the things you disagreed with the red pill and kind of what Tate has talked about is just like you have to be disciplined in every area of your life except for dating like multiple women and that kind of thing. And I wanted to hear like your point of view on that.
Yeah, so why is it that in the red pill community, you have to be disciplined in literally everything in life? And waking up early, hitting the gym, like working every single day. But then when it comes to women, we can't control ourselves. And it's like our primitive nature to sleep with multiple women and all this other stuff. What happened to the discipline there? What happened to like good things come with hard work at a cost, you know? Like, of course, like your lustful mind will look elsewhere. But like, what happened to just being able to control that for the sake of having like a nuclear family, you know?
But I do believe that to be true. But I will say that that perspective doesn't make much sense to me because you're assuming that they assume that sleeping with multiple women is a negative thing, you know? Like drinking alcohol definitely has like objective negative effects on your life. But like, what like do you see as the negative? It sounds obvious, but like the negative effects of.
I don't think it's a negative thing. I think that that's just a flaw in their belief. You know, because the belief is literally discipline, but for example, it doesn't apply in that particular scenario. I don't think it's right or wrong. I don't think it's good or bad. I just think there's a flaw in that particular line of thinking.
But why would it be undisciplined to sleep with multiple women?
That's the argument they make. Because the whole point is like, you find one woman who, I personally, from my perspective, this could be a limiting belief. But I believe that if you have like multiple women involved, they can't love you the same way that one woman could if you fully applied. It's the same with business. Bro, you got 4 or 5 different businesses. They would all not perform as well as if you just had one. That one, you know what I'm saying? This is why some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world just focus on one business.
Why not have one kid?
Because I need a football team, bro. I need a starting 11. I need the bench. I need reserves.
Are you only child?
Nah, I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers? What do they do? Are they younger, older?
Yeah, they're both younger. One's 20. The other one's like 4. Because like when my dad got remarried.
Yeah.
But so I have a brother and a half brother. But my younger brother, he works for me. He's married now.
Wow.
He's 20 years old. He's married. Yeah, he works for me, bro. He makes a good salary. He's just living, just chilling. You know how it is.
Do you think intelligence is a gift or a curse?
I spoke about this with my friend Milan. The benefit of intelligence is that people don't see things the same way you do. And the curse is that people don't see things the same way you do. You know? So you take the good with the bad. I'd definitely personally rather have it than not. But I can see the bliss in ignorance for sure.
It's like the red pill, blue pill matrix, whole concept. What do you see as like the main negative in your life?
Life's good. I don't have a negative, bro. I'm enjoying every second of it.
I guess of intelligence, perhaps. Like, do you feel lonely, or do you feel like you found your people?
I see more good than bad, bro. But that's just because of my outlook on myself, how I'm fulfilled I am internally. Naturally, just see the cup half full, you know. But I think stuff like loneliness is like people combat it the wrong way. People think that you can solve external issues with external solutions when really external issues only exist because of internal problems, you know? So you can have all the friends and family in the world that love and care for you, but at the end of the day, if you're not content with your own company, you'll still go to bed feeling lonely every single night, even though you have everyone that loves and cares for you, you know? So it's all about that internal, once you change your internal state, your external condition will follow suit, you know? It's not about getting more friends or about getting different friends. It's about being content with your own space, and then everything else falls in line.
What's the truth you live by that most high performers ignore because they don't see it as productive?
For me, I'm friends with my friends from home. I think a lot of people encourage this idea of dropping them off and like, you can't be friends with these people. At the end of the day, you're not the sum of your 5 closest friends. You're the sum of like the strongest frequency, let's say, right? So if the strongest conviction belief amongst the 5 of you, right, is that money's hard to make, and the belief of the 4 others is stronger than the belief of the one person, then their belief will influence him, and he will then start to believe that money's hard to make. But if the belief of the one person that money is easy to make is stronger than the frequency of the 4 people, the stronger belief than the frequency of the other people, then they actually turn into people that believe money's easy to make. And that one person ends up influencing the group of 4. Now, for example, my conviction in my ability to make money and that money's super easy to make was stronger than my other 9 friends. And now they're all entrepreneurs, as opposed to me becoming the bum. You know what I'm saying? So now I have 2 friends who have businesses doing over 10K a month. One of them doing 40, 50K a month now, right? And we all live in the same small city in England. We all work out the same office building with office units next to each other, you know? Like, that's, so a lot of people, they love to say, like, drop off your hometown friends, like, cut them off, like, they're going to hold you back. But they only hold you back if you let them influence your internal state. But for me, I did the opposite. My conviction was strong enough to the point where now they either work for me or they work for themselves.
That's a banger. Where do you fucking come up with this stuff? Because that doesn't seem like experiential.
I just be thinking, man. I just be pondering in the back of an Uber, you know. I just be like, I just be chilling, thinking and shit.
No, it's so true. That's a good one.
You read books?
It's been a while.
You gotta read books, man.
That's your advice?
You gotta read more. Got my Kindle with me everywhere. Everywhere. On my Instagram, there's a running joke. Aunt got Kindle. Whenever I post this shit on my story, comments get flooded. Aunt got Kindle, Aunt got Kindle. Get a fucking Kindle, bro. I'm traveling all the time. I can't bring all my books with me. Put them all on my Kindle. I'm reading every single day, all the time. Back of an Uber, 20 minutes. Reading, waiting for someone, reading. It's just, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, reading ignites thought. When you're not reading, you're thinking. You know, when you take your headphones out. Put your headphones in, put noise cancellation on, don't play no music. Just let your mind go blank and thoughts come to you, you know?
What's one book you'd recommend?
What for?
Oh, no, that's a tough one.
For life, for business,
How about
for
for me?
relationships. The Kabbalion.
Is that in the Quran?
No.
No, it's outside.
It's about Greek and Egyptian metaphysics and philosophy.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with Islam. It's actually more Jewish oriented.
Oh, I know this book now. I haven't read it, but I've heard about it.
Goes over this concept of the 7 Hermetic principles.
Yeah. When was the last time you felt lost?
I would say about like 7 years ago, when I was like really questioning my religion, like really bad. And I was really questioning that shit because obviously dedicated my entire life to it. Even now I have dedicated my whole life to it, you know, to an extent. And like I remember at like 15, like really coming to that bridge where I was asking my dad questions, didn't have answers, asking like a lot of my scholars questions, they didn't have answers. And I was getting frustrated and all this other stuff. But I do feel like reading unlocked those blocks for me, bro. You know? Not just the Quran, like other forms of information and knowledge and stuff like that. So that was the last time I really felt lost. Because the main thing was me wondering, like, you know, you're always told like God's gonna answer your blessings, God's gonna answer your prayers, but I just felt like God wasn't listening, you know? But I ended up coming to the conclusion off the back of literally reading that God actually gives everyone exactly what they want. The same way that we were talking about like what sits in your subconscious and stuff like that, you can literally make the claim that that's God. God is so generous that you're told in almost every scripture that God is the most generous, right? God is so generous that he gives you exactly what you want all of the time. Some people don't know that what they're asking for is poverty and misery, you know? And as soon as you change your internal state to a position of beliefs that doesn't follow that line of thinking, God will grant you that too. But he's so generous that even if you ask for poverty and misery, he gives you that too.
You know, I came to this last night, and this might sound stupid. You might like it. I was trying to go to bed, and I was like, wow. Like, you know how you're supposed to do charitable acts, and the only way that it's actually charity is to not tell anyone about it? I'm like, God created the world and doesn't reveal himself to us because it's the ultimate charity act. It's the ultimate generosity. And that's another argument for why he doesn't reveal himself to us directly. Something I thought about.
That's a good way to put it. I like that. I'm gonna steal it.
Do you think you're a good person?
Yeah. I think if the world was more like me and there was more me's in the world would be a better place. Because I think that change in the world starts from, like, you should be the change you want to see in the world, right? And that's how things happen. Like, I actually think that people that, like, let's say people that follow Islam and they do dawah, like street dawah, where they go around, like, arguing with people at Speaker's Corner or just, like, arguing with Christians, and they do these debates. I would literally argue that's sinful. And not only sinful, counterproductive. And the reason I would say so is because, like, I don't think that's the best way to pull people into religion. I think the best way to do it is to lead by example. There's been countless times where, like, I've been to dinner with other people, like young entrepreneurs as well. And everyone's like, yeah, after this, we're going to the club. And I was like, I'm not going. I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to work. I'm going to hit the sauna and go to bed. And then a few people that would have gone to the club ended up saying, yeah, no, I'm going to go back and run the routine with Mussa. They avoided sin that night. And it was, I mean, to give myself credit, it was me that pulled them out of that. I didn't tell them to do it. I didn't say they were sinning. I didn't say that what they were doing was bad. I didn't do anything. But they took a step closer. If we wanted to make the Dawah argument, they took a step closer to Islam that day, right? Or just religion in general. And I didn't tell them to do anything. In majority of religions, almost all religions, your objective is to align your will with the will of God. In Christianity, you're told to be more Christ-like. In the Quran, you're told to, your objective is to align your will with the will of God, is to want what God wants. You pray because God's worthy of worship. It's what he wants and these type of things, right? Which means that every time you do anything, it's either to follow the will of God or to follow the will of yourself. They're your two options. And the will of yourself is ego, So I think that when you're arguing and debating religion, the reason I think these debates are kind of sinful is because are you arguing because it's what God wants? Or are you arguing because your religion is right? Because you follow the truth and they don't follow the truth? Are you arguing because of you, or are you arguing because it's what God wants? Because what does it mean to sin? The etymology of the word sin was a term used in archery. It was a term for missing the mark. So anytime you're missing the mark, you're sinning. In this case, the mark is the will of God. Anytime you're missing that mark, you're sinning, So you should question anytime you're doing something. And again, like the word sin can even be used for whatever your mission is. If your mission is to take your family out of debt, then set that as your mission. And anytime you're doing something other than that, you're sinning. You're missing the mark, So
What's something you struggle to let go of?
I have even now, I have a bad, underlying ego when I'm in rooms I don't want to be in. So if I'm somewhere I don't want to be, or I'm around someone I don't want to be around, as much as I don't say it, I don't give off the impression, I keep it to myself all the time, I definitely do have this feeling of you don't deserve my presence. You're kind of this look at yourself attitude, of I'm too good to be here. You don't deserve to be around me. This type of stuff. And it's filthy on the inside, really, but I can't help but feel it sometimes. And I need to work on that.
I guess the obvious question is why do you think that is? But as someone who's so pretty morally aligned, do you just feel like it's a waste of your time, or do you just feel as though the other person isn't deserving of your time?
It's bad because it's a judgment of them when I don't know them, because they very well could be worthy of my time. I'm just making the assumption,
Because ultimately your goal is to make 100 mil, build hospitals, build schools, charities. But something that I struggle with myself, because I'm on this path of productivity, is that anytime that I'm not being productive, that I'm forced into a situation, it's your presence should be present and that you have a positive impact on them charitably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's more so I don't have it often with people that I'm usually with. It's usually in unwillful situations. I'm with a friend that I want to see because I don't see him all the time, and then he brings a girl and she's talking her mouth off and she's chatting shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's just and she's just so unbearable, and I gotta sit there and just put up with it. And I'm being polite, and I'm being nice, and I'm being kind, and she just keeps spewing bullshit. And then I gotta sit there and just be and in my head I'm thinking fuck, you don't even know how lucky you are to even just be sat across the table from me right now,
Bro, honestly, I relate to you on that one. The amount of young guys I meet that they feel the conversation is changing their life for whatever reason, because I did a podcast with X person. They're asking me business advice, and then I meet some guy's girlfriend. She's what's your name again? Jacob? Or I don't know. It's very interesting. But I have met some girls who've been very receptive to feedback.
No, I I definitely know a lot of women that they can hold their own. They're very smart, you know? But like, you know, sometimes just in the wrong mood and dinner's at the wrong time and you showed up the first one there and everyone else is late and then the orange juice comes later than you'd have liked and everyone else has got their drink first and then you're trying to get your food and just trying to eat and go and then this bitch is talking her mouth off and I'm just like, fuck, bro. And then you just, you know what I'm saying? You just get caught at the wrong time and it brings a side out of you that you didn't want to remember existed. You know what I'm saying?
This might not be a great question for you, but what dream did you let go of?
Being a footballer.
I was going to guess that.
I really wanted to be a fucking footballer when I was younger, bro. And then...
Are you good?
I believe that I could have gone pro. Like if I really committed myself, I'm sure I could have done it. But like... Nah, I just play for fun, man. But like, I let go of that dream. I really did.
You're better than Luke Belmar.
At football? Oh, no questions asked. 100%. Absolutely no doubt.
What's like the football lingo for like, I don't know, like you like run someone's shit? I don't know.
She's got techers in it. I got tech. I'm more techie than him, you know?
Techie. That's some UK shit.
That's some UK shit.
But did that, like, when did you realize you weren't going to be pro?
Fucking early, man. Like when I started like making my first couple bucks, I was like, we gotta let this shit go now, you know what I'm saying? And then I was also thinking like, I want the freedom of an entrepreneur. I don't want the freedom of a footballer.
Yeah.
All sort of stuff. But I was like, nah, playing ball would be so sick.
I wanted to be an actor.
Really?
The industry's so dead, in my opinion. Like, I moved out to LA to be an actor, and it was during COVID, so you couldn't go to any acting classes or like any auditions. So I was like, let me just keep doing my social media shit. And then I came to the realization that like media industry is dead, like traditional media. Do you think that's...
Nah, bro. Like Damson Idris was getting like $1 million, $2 million an episode for an episode of Snowfall. How many episodes is that? It's like...
Well, I actually do think... I disagree with myself. I think media is still going to be around, like movies and TV and stuff, for like a while. I just think it's going to be like, maybe like on YouTube or something.
Casey Neistat actually said this. He was like, the pendulum is swinging. He's like, look, kids nowadays, they're buying point and shoot cameras. Like, what's the biggest thing amongst girls right now? It's the G7X, you know? They're buying point and shoot because the iPhone has so many filters and it like blurs everything and makes it all smooth. Like, people are getting tired of just absolute perfection. So they want something a bit more raw, a bit more gritty, and they're going back to the OG shit, you know? Like, that's why people buy Polaroids. That's why people fuck around with film cameras. It's because it's a bit more authentic. It's a bit more real, you know? So we can steer one way into media as much as we like, but at the end of the day, you know, there's something artistic and pure and like something that just resonates more with the soul with those original art forms.
Who's the most impressive person you've ever met?
Who's yours? Also think.
That's a first. I had this guy on my podcast named Ryan Montgomery. He's just a good example of someone that I aspire to be like. Like he has qualities that I don't have myself. But he's like buying Bitcoin when it's like a couple dollars, has like a SaaS company that's like raking in, like catches predators for a living, like in chat rooms. And yeah, he was just so kind. And he had like a McLaren, but like he had it for fun. Like he had it just because he liked it, not to flex. He wouldn't say how much money he'd made. He just said when he bought Bitcoin. And he said like kind of gave you an idea of how much money he's made, how many users are on his platform. But he's just so nice, man. Like he offered to take me and my girlfriend like back to our hotel in his Tesla. He like only had a Tesla with him. He was like, hey, do you like want like I'm gonna use this hacking device and like hack into your hotel room. He's like a hacker. I was like, sure, man. He just like had that like childlike sense of quality that made him really fun, even though he's like rich as fuck and probably has like tens of millions of dollars. I don't know.
That's nice. I like that.
Have you heard of him before?
No, never.
Dude, he was like 13 doing heroin. Like
What?
all tatted up. Like he was a gangster type.
Damn.
But like now he's like
that's a good little
sweet guy.
I actually don't have an answer. Like I just don't have no one's really like really impressed me. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's the most common answer I or like from successful people. I always have to cut it out. But if you had to give like, okay, what are you best at?
Like, I don't know, marketing.
You're best at marketing?
Yeah. It's like
Have you
my whole
met someone
thing.
who's better at marketing in some way than you?
No. Not met them. I'm sure there are people.
How about close to you? Who's the closest?
Yeah, he's like a good friend of mine. It's probably maybe better than me. He does like cold traffic email marketing. It's like really boring, but
Who is it? Do I know him? No.
his name's Zarek. I don't know if you know him.
Eric?
Zarek.
Oh, I think you were talking about Eric.
No. No, I actually just don't have an answer. I don't know. I guess I'm just not easily impressed because I kind of am the best at clipping. Like, you know, if someone wants to argue, like I got all the stats to back it up as well. So like,
Bro, you, me, and Daniel need to have a clipping off, bro.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you low-key have the stats. I think the only person who I can think of that would come close is Daniel. So.
But like, I don't even care to like go back and forth over it. It's more so just like, I don't know. I just no one really like impressive.
All right, final question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
External problems are not solved with external solutions. Any ceiling you have in your life is set from an internal condition. Any belief you have that limits you to any degree is all an internal belief, and it can all be reset with a change of thought. Every ceiling, every revenue ceiling, every relationship limiting belief, every limiting belief you have about anything, your capabilities as an editor, as a footballer, as an entrepreneur, is all set in the confinements of yourself.
And what should people believe about themselves?
That you can make that change. Doesn't matter what it is. Like that's what it is, you know? All the external change you want to make in your life all comes from an internal change first.
Last one, bonus. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
You gotta fuck 50 bitches before you get married. That way you know how to navigate women. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, that is literally like saying you have to try drugs first before, like, you know, they're not like good for you and stuff like that. It's basically saying you need time in the field with women.
Why do you think you don't need experience though?
What, like sleeping around experience?
Yeah, or like even like sleeping with a couple women.
I mean, it depends what you're going for. Like if you're looking for a wife, like he's saying, like, no, you don't have to. But again, like in my particular situation, that's the worst bit of advice I've heard, because especially since like I'm a virgin, probably end up marrying a virgin, so she shouldn't really end up knowing or even caring like what good sex looks like, because neither do I. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's really interesting. I guess like if I tried weed and I'd never had any other drug, it'd be the best drug I'd ever had and the worst.
Yeah.
So there's like no complaints about it. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
That's it.
Well, Musa, where can people find you, brother?
Instagram at Mussa.02. YouTube, Mussa. That's that.
Can you spell it for us?
MUSSY.02.
Awesome. Well, everyone, this is your guest, Mustafa.
That's it. I want to pay homage to my boy Nero. He helped me a lot with my line of thinking as well, and a lot of book recommendations. Everyone should go check him out. Nero Knowledge on YouTube.
This is the Jack Neel Podcast. See you guys.